And we welcome you in to this 5A state championship game here tonight in the capital city at War Memorial Stadium. It is the Farmington Cardinals and the two-time defending state champion Little Rock Parkview Patriots. And it should be a great night, but a cool night for football here tonight in Little Rock. Justin Ankery, Wes Moore here bringing you this broadcast tonight. We'll head down to the sidelines in a little bit as well. And Wes, these are two teams that we've certainly kept an eye on all year long, both 12-1, and the losses both came to state championship contenders, actually state championship finalists who are going to be playing this weekend as well.
Yeah, Farmington lost way back in week 1 to Shiloh Christian, and of course Parkview lost to Bryant earlier this season. Last year Parkview beat Bryant, so Bryant had a little something, and turns out Bryant's really good too. So two teams that we knew or we thought had a chance to be here. Now Farmington's had a magical season. They've trailed in the fourth quarter of every playoff game they've played so far this year. Don't count out Farmington at no point tonight.
Yeah, well, a lot of D1 guys we're going to be talking about too for Parkview, and we'll get to that as we go through the broadcast tonight. Let's talk about what happened earlier today. And Wes, I know you were on the call for this one. And Conway Christian, speaking of a magical season, continuing their undefeated run. And this was a game that was certainly close all the way through the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter, Jacob Gaines gave EPC the lead, but right back comes Brady DeMarcus, 42-yard run, gives them the lead 12-8. They added to that lead later on. Conway Christian takes home their first ever state championship with an 18-8 victory. Conway Christian finishes the season 14-0. Justin Kramer, their head coach, had texted me earlier this year and said, this was our first ever 10-0 regular season. They made school history just by that, by getting here, and then once again by winning the championship.
You might as well close it out, right? All right, tomorrow we've got some great matchups for you. Greenwood, a team that has been insanely dominant this year, against a Shiloh Christian team that has been extremely well battle-tested, as we talked about, playing Farmington and some other really good quality teams outside of what they went through in the 6A. And then the evening game, Wes, you got a couple of teams that certainly you figured would be in the mix, if not here at War Memorial Stadium at the end of the season, with Bryant and Bentonville.
Conference champions. Both of them won the conference. Bryant in the Central, Bentonville the West. Last week, Bentonville gets a field goal with 1 second left to beat Conway. Came down to the wire, and Bentonville made the plays. Two champions right there.
And we welcome you in to this 5A state championship game here tonight in the capital city at War Memorial Stadium. It is the Farmington Cardinals and the two-time defending state champion Little Rock Parkview Patriots. And it should be a great night, but a cool night for football here tonight in Little Rock. Justin Ankery, Wes Moore here bringing you this broadcast tonight. We'll head down to the sidelines in a little bit as well. And Wes, these are two teams that we've certainly kept an eye on all year long, both 12-1, and the losses both came to state championship contenders, actually state championship finalists who are going to be playing this weekend as well.
Yeah, Farmington lost way back in week 1 to Shiloh Christian, and of course Parkview lost to Bryant earlier this season. Last year Parkview beat Bryant, so Bryant had a little something, and turns out Bryant's really good too. So two teams that we knew or we thought had a chance to be here. Now Farmington's had a magical season. They've trailed in the fourth quarter of every playoff game they've played so far this year. Don't count out Farmington at no point tonight.
Yeah, well, a lot of D1 guys we're going to be talking about too for Parkview, and we'll get to that as we go through the broadcast tonight. Let's talk about what happened earlier today. And Wes, I know you were on the call for this one. And Conway Christian, speaking of a magical season, continuing their undefeated run. And this was a game that was certainly close all the way through the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter, Jacob Gaines gave EPC the lead, but right back comes Brady to Marcus, 42-yard run, gives them the lead 12-8. They added to that lead later on. Conway Christian takes home their first ever state championship with an 18-8 victory. Conway Christian finishes the season 14-0. Justin Kramer, their head coach, had texted me earlier this year and said, this was our first ever 10-0 regular season. They made school history just by that, by getting here, and then once again by winning the championship.
You might as well close it out, right? All right, tomorrow we've got some great matchups for you. Greenwood, a team that has been insanely dominant this year, against a Shiloh Christian team that has been extremely well battle-tested, as we talked about, playing Farmington, some other really good quality teams outside of what they went through in the 6A. And then the evening game, Wes, you got a couple of teams that certainly you figured would be in the mix, if not here at War Memorial Stadium at the end of the season, with Bryant and Bentonville.
Conference champions. Both of them won the conference. Bryant in the Central, Bentonville the West. Last week, Bentonville gets a field goal with 1 second left to beat Conway. Came down to the wire, and Bentonville made the plays. 2 champions right there. It's funny, last year Bentonville ended Bryant's streak of 5 straight state championships by beating them in the semifinals. Now Bryant can win their state championship this year by getting a little revenge.
Yeah, and quickly, you know, we got championship games coming up next weekend as well. Looking forward to those. But Parkview certainly a great run, Wes, and 27 straight game winning streak broken earlier this year by those, you know, Bryant Hornets. But my goodness, what a run through the playoffs! They have been absolutely dominant so far in the postseason. You know, 40-plus points in each of those 3 games. And again, coming off last year's championship game. Speaking of dominance, that was a one as well.
Wow, they knocked off Shiloh Christian, and it was kind of like Parkview did all season. It was in dominant fashion. Last year's championship game was dominant. Big plays from the defense, big plays from the offense, and that's who Parkview is. They're an explosive team. You see the pick right there, the interception early in the game, and you're going to see some of these same players that you see in these highlights tonight. A lot of juniors in last year's game. They're back this year for their senior season, and they want to cap it off with back-to-back-to-back championships. You think about this senior class, they've got 2 rings. They want a 3rd ring.
I'll be back in just a moment. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Thanks to UAMS Health, I am dancing through life.
No cameras, no witnesses.
That's convenient. From the beginning, then.
Welcome!
Oh, then. Oh, I like that.
Very promising.
Tell us everything.
Who put him in charge?
What's your secret? I trust my team.
Where's the fun in that?
Awkward. We have exactly no plan. So what have you ladies been up to today?
The plot thickens.
Why did you think you could just run off on your own?
Because I'm carrying a gun.
Wicked looking thing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Drop the gun.
You drop the gun. This was perfect.
No matter what age you are, 0 to 99, never ever give up learning something new every day. And that's the power of Arkansas PBS. It gives you a window to the world. It's a passport that gives you access to places that you may not be able to travel to, but you can go there in the comfort of your own living room. It's a cultural institution preserving the stories of the great state of Arkansas, being really inspired by Arkansas PBS and great programs that are produced locally and nationally. That is gold for your community. So celebrate that and use it as a grand resource. So I encourage you, support this wonderful institution that is Arkansas PBS.
And we welcome you back into War Memorial Stadium on this chilly Friday night, getting set for 5A state championship football. Farmington and Little Rock Parkview, and Westmore, Justin Acree will head down to the sideline in just a bit and check in with Sierra Clark, who is braving the elements tonight. But first off, Wes, let's take a look at how Farmington got to this point. As we mentioned earlier, a one-loss team and a great run through. And again, that only lost to Shiloh Christian, a team that will be playing in a state championship game tomorrow.
You're going to see some close games. Came from behind to beat BB 28-26 to advance to play Camden Fairview. They went on a run to beat Camden Fairview 42-21, but that was a close game of Cardinals early on. And then last week, 29 fourth quarter points, 2 onside kicks to come back and beat Lakeside 59-55.
Let's take a look at our player to watch, and there he is, Aiden Lester. It all starts with him, Wes. A fantastic junior season, 65%, nearly 3,000 yards and 29 touchdowns, and he'll have to be special tonight.
Well, and he scrambles around. He's got 1,000 yards rushing, 12 more touchdowns on the ground, but he'll move around in the pocket. He'll extend the play. The Parkview coaches told me they counted a couple times last week. They had the ball in his hand 7, 8, 9 seconds. That's a long time to try to defend a wide receiver. It's going to be important for Parkview to put a little pressure on him.
Well, he's a lefty. We're going to have to see a little Steve Young out of him tonight, Wes, if they're going to have a shot to knock off this two-time defending state champion. And let's talk about those Parkview Patriots, Wes, and obviously their road here much more comfortable along the way, dominating victories all through, scoring 40-plus points in each of those games. It started with Wynn, 42-10, then crushing Maumelle, 48-7. And then in the semifinal game, a Valley View team that had a very special season themselves, shut down, 44-14 the final there. And Wes, I'm going to let you handle the players to watch, because there are about 10 of them, and you got a handful of guys who are headed to Division I schools, a couple to Arkansas, a Kansas State commit, an Oklahoma commit. I mean, talent all over this team.
Well, Money is my favorite high school player to watch. Montario Elston can do a little bit of everything. Running back, wide receiver. Get this, he's been playing on varsity since his freshman year. This is his 53rd high school game. He has scored a touchdown in 40 of the 53 games he's played in. My money is on him, Money, getting another touchdown tonight.
All right, let's go to our Parkview keys to the game tonight, Wes, as they try to go for their three-peat tonight.
Yeah, first of all, they can't turn over the ball. Just do what you do. Explosive plays on offense, great defense. Parkview on defense only averages giving up 12 points per game. That's how stout this defense is.
All right, well, there you go. Parkview now taking the field. We've had our coin toss. We're about set for action. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Sierra Clark, and I was going to say the bravest member of this team, who was out there in the elements, and the temperature, Sierra, hovering around 32 degrees, I'm told, and it's going to be a fun night for football, but it'll be a little tough maybe for some of the fans and the reporters in the stands tonight.
Looking for their third straight state championship title. However, this season hasn't been exactly smooth sailing. State, who is an Oklahoma third-ranked player in his position. He actually had ankle surgery about a month ago, but he's back playing, and Coach Boulding says that he expects him to make an impact. As for Farmington, this is their first state title appearance since 1973, but not for Coach Tommy Tice. He has over 40 years of coaching experience and was at Harrison in 1999. And won a state title there. So it should be a fun experience for both teams here at War Memorial Stadium.
All right, well, it will be Parkview getting the ball first. Farmington will kick it off to start the action here today.
Make sure.
And it will be Braden
I think you want to cut out that.
Conran, I believe, kicking off for, actually it's going to be Elliott Brown kicking off here. The sophomore will be kicking off for Farmington. And Wes, some dangerous return men here for Parkview for sure.
Yeah, Jermaine Penny can take this to the house. He is a great cornerback, a lot of speed, maybe the fastest guy on this team, and they're loaded with speed. They're not even going to kick to him.
Yeah, they're going to pooch it. It'll land around the 30, and they are going to get a return out of it. Good coverage, though, by Farmington. Very well versed on that one. It was picked up in a very short return by Cameron Settles, another dangerous weapon. And if you're going to kick it short, I don't know that he's the guy I want to get it to, but it works out okay. Good job by the Cardinals, and I would call that a win on their opening kickoff.
Yeah, you got to pick your poison when you're kicking it off, and a future Razorback gets it, just know where to run on it, but Parkview will start at the 29.
The junior Emmanuel Bunting has taken over at quarterback, 72%, absolutely phenomenal year, 1,316 yards, 20 touchdowns against 3 interceptions. We'll see him at quarterback, and not a great threat to run, Wes, but Quentin Murphy, the senior who's headed to Arkansas, another guy that certainly could get in there as well, and actually going to get the start today.
Yeah, Quentin Murphy lining up anyway at quarterback right now. They have that package in.
Yep.
They'll run Murphy a little bit, and that's it. They have so many weapons. You never know who's going to get the ball, but they're also dangerous.
All right, they're going to hand it off left side here to start, and to the edge go the Patriots. But again, good pursuit there by the Farmington defense and able to stop him for about a 4-yard gain out to the edge, and that was Cameron Settles. Off that left side, but a pretty good job there, I thought, by Farmington's defense running it down and not letting him get that corner turned.
Now you could see a little bit of the speed for Settles. He got past everybody at the line of scrimmage and was able to get to the outside, picked up 4 or 5 yards on the play. But yeah, give Farmington some credit. The pursuit, they stayed home. The DB was there to make sure he wasn't able to hit the sideline and turn it up.
Yeah, and now it will be Emmanuel Bunting, the 6'2 junior, in at quarterback. Farmington bringing some pressure right up the middle, but he has time to throw down the seam, wide open at the 35 and off to the races. There goes Elston. He is going to take it all the way to the house. That will be a 67-yard touchdown. And welcome to the state championship game. Emmanuel Bunting, his first throw goes for 6.
Money Elston living up to the nickname right there. Clear and free, beats his man. Had 3 yards on him and the speed on him. Once he caught it, turned on the jets, there was no catching him. That is why Kansas State was on him early and often. Other teams came in to try to recruit Money Elston, but he felt a little loyalty to them. And he loves what K-State has done with smaller back. I don't want to call him small because he's just only a little bit on the shorter side, but he is thick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, about eye level with me, but he's at 170. But obviously you saw right there he can go. He is their leading receiver. He is a dangerous running back as well for them. We do have a flag here.
Dead ball. False start.
Gonna get a false start back up this PAT attempt.
5-yard penalty.
But he is 38 catches coming in on the season for almost 500 yards, and that is his 5th receiving touchdown of the season.
Well, that'll put him over 500 yards receiving for the season. He already had over 500 yards rushing, so now he's a 1,000-yard guy for sure. But just an explosive Parkview offense. That's one of the keys. Just be you, and that's what they're doing.
Solomon Aguiar is the kicker for Parkview, 68-72 on the season for PATs. This one a little bit longer, but no problem. And Parkview takes an early 7-0 lead with 11:39 to go here in the first quarter, and that was a very explosive play. Let's head down to the sideline, check in with Sierra Clark, and hopefully that big play got it warmed up down there on the sideline, Sierra, but that was a very impressive play, and one of the things we talked about Farmington needed to do was keep those explosives to a minimum, and that is not the way they wanted to start.
Yeah, that's extremely hard to stop with a player like Montario Elston. You mentioned that he's going to Kansas State next year, and a big reason was that is because Kansas State really hopped on him early. In fact, Dallas Cowboys running back Deuce Vaughn even helped in Elston's recruiting process. He gave him a call early on in that process and gave him some tips and whatnot and ideas on going to Kansas State, and well, he just really felt like home with K-State, and now he's heading there next fall.
Think about K-State, not only Deuce Vaughn, Sproles was there, Darren Sproles.
Yep.
Another guy that has made it to the NFL that may not have your typical NFL running back or wide receiver numbers, but had a lot of success in college and now some success in the NFL.
And Aguiar will kick it off. He is a very successful kicker this season. He's had a good year. 9 of 12 on field goals as well. Gets into this one. It will be returnable all the way up from the 15-yard line up the left side, and pretty good coverage by Parkview there, stopping him just shy of the 25-yard line. Good coverage down there defensively, and making the stop is Radon Parson, the linebacker, just a sophomore, but you know, again, when you're a younger guy, especially on this team, Wes, that's so loaded with talent, you better make your plays on special teams when you get an opportunity.
No, that's one of the luxuries that Parkview has. They're so deep that they can play some of these younger future stars on special teams, and they're able to go down and make plays like that. That's one of the things you'll notice with Parkview. their starters don't have these great eye-popping stats. You got to keep in mind, they're playing about half the game because of the mercy rule, and then they let some of the backups play the second half.
Empty backfield for Aiden Lester. The left-hander will throw on first down, has time, now pressure coming late. He'll throw to the sideline and into the Parkview bench, and nearly got it into the stands there, actually, but he just let that one go to get rid of it. But a pretty good job on that offensive line, just couldn't get anybody loose on the back end.
One of the things I noticed just then with Parkview, they did do a good job of hemming him in. He likes to run around a little bit, but the defensive ends did not get way upfield so that he could cut past them and get outside. They created a true pocket where he couldn't escape. He had to stay right there in the pocket.
Empty backfield first time. Now he's got a protector on each side, and he will throw again here on second down. Has a man out at the 25-yard line, but immediately dragged down is his running back, Russell Hodge, and they give it to him quite a bit running the football, and they got him out on the edge that time.
Chris Edwards, you saw the speed from his linebacker spot. Ran a little kind of a pick play. The defense calls it a pick play. The offense calls it a rub play. Looked like he had room to run, but Edwards was there to close quickly.
Well, not what Farmington wanted to start with. A 3rd and long here on their opening possession. By the way, that was Hodges' 30th catch of the season. Again, you see some versatile talent really on both teams, Wes. So now they will spread the field. The Cardinals will, and Lester will go to work on a 3rd and 8. Straight back to pass, steps up in the pocket, pressure coming late, trying to get away, and he will not. He is dropped for a sack. And Parkview swarming defense, you better make decisions quickly. But Wes, a handful of guys in there, and Kevin Ellis leading the charge.
Jeremy Edwards was also there. He had a couple sacks on the year. Ellis a couple of sacks. But you see, they did not want him to get outside the pocket. Jeremy Edwards was just standing there waiting for him. You're not going to the sideline. We're going to keep you in this pocket. Finally, the pocket broke down. Parkview brings him down.
So it'll be Ian Shadden, the punter for Farmington, punting this one away just outside his own end zone, and a very dangerous return man awaiting it at his own 40 for Parkview.
Jermaine Penny back there. He's already returned some. He had to pick 6 last week, 3rd play of the game against Valley View. Low long line drive punt. If he gets a bounce, he's going with it.
Yeah, he's going to take it from the 36-yard line up the right side. He does have a touchdown return from on a punt this year. He won't get to the house, but he will get it back into Farmington territory on the return. So a nice return out across midfield. So Parkview already 1 for 1 on possession scoring. And now they're going to start with really good field position with 9:53 to go here in the first quarter. And I got to feel like this is a prize fight, Wes, where you got to sustain, kind of the fight a little bit early on here. You may have to take a couple of haymakers and try to stay on your feet, but Parkview's coming out swinging.
Well, this is a perfect start for Parkview. Quick drive, touchdown, 3 and out.
Yep.
For Farmington, this is the worst possible scenario. Give up a touchdown, go 3 and out. Now their defense needs to step up and get a stop.
Bunting will motion a man across. He's going to hand it to Settles off the left side. The defense closing, but they can't get there. And off to the races. He goes down the left sideline. He'll be run out of bounds around the 20, but it's another big pickup around 30 yards on the run off the left side. Cameron Settles showing that speed, the senior, incredible. And boy, I tell you what, he's a guy that was just shy of 1,000 yards on the season. Nice little stutter step there, Wes, to get himself loose off the left side. And they do finally get the angle on him, but a big gain, and it'll be 1st and 10 on the 19.
Yeah, he did. Had a great move around the 40. Just a little hesitation move. Gets the defender to slow down. Then he turns on the speed, gets out to the outside, picks up 30 yards on the play.
The junior Dak Crosby in at running back now. Set to the left side of his quarterback, Bunting. Twin receivers to the right. They're going to motion a man across and hand it to Crosby off the right side. Not a lot of room to run there. Good job of the Cardinal defense, but they still, even on a play like that, give up 4 yards down to the 15.
Well, that's the offensive line. The push from Mercurius Hill, Charles Landers, Jaden Johnson, Nigel Farsi, Tavis Sporsham. I mean, it was just a huge push. Didn't look like there was anything there, and then you look up, he picked up 4 yards on nothing.
So it'll be 2nd down. They're going to say 3 yards. They marked him down just a hair short of that. So 2nd and 7 upcoming for Parkview. Already leading 7-0. 9:13 remaining here in the first quarter. And the Patriots threatening again. Band comes in motion. It'll be a throw here. Going to the end zone. And it is caught for a touchdown. Finding his target. It is Jermaine Conway, the tight end, the junior, with the score. Great throw right down the seam, Wes. And that looked awfully easy for Parkview, and they have come out and jumped on the Cardinals of Farmington.
How about Conway? Comes into the game with 8 catches, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. That just shows you the depth they have on offense, that they're able to go to a little used tight end, and he made it look simple.
Well, Farmington has now taken those 2 haymakers. They have got to get up off the canvas, and they've got to find a way to come back and find some points of their own, but not the start that Tommy Tice and this team wanted. Extra point is on the way. Plenty of leg there, obviously, and right down Main Street. So 14-0 with 8:59 remaining. You're watching the 5A Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
Antiques Roadshow season premiere is overflowing with treasures from Bentonville, Arkansas.
Really? Oh my goodness.
I think with these, you've really kind of hit it out of the park.
This one is not out of fashion. It's so well done and so over the top. Fancy French, just beautiful.
For an amazing Spider-Man fan, this is the best.
All new appraisals in the season premiere of Antiques Roadshow from Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art.
Next month on Arkansas PBS.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
I'm R.C. Davis. Join me, Jewel, Michael Crawford, and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I'm Scott Yu. I'm at a teaching festival where the pros help guide the next generation.
It's an unforgettable evening of unforgettable songs and carols from the world-renowned choir and orchestra.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Here we go, the energy. Here we go, the energy.
UAMS provides orthopedic care, sports medicine expertise, therapy, and support to athletic programs, organizations, and events across the state. UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine clinics are conveniently located throughout Central and Northwest Arkansas.
Well, a dominating start so far for Parkview, 14-0, a team that had 74 total touchdowns on the season. These Patriots at 12-1 have run roughshod through the playoffs, and they are off to a great start again. 120 yards of offense. Farmington with -6 so far. It is time for them to get the ball rolling in the right direction, and for their sake, they need a decent drive here, Wes. At least you want to pick up a first down or two, run some clock, give that defense a rest, because they were on their heels the entire time. Although, again, not a real long drive by Parkview. They've been quick strikers so far.
120 yards, 5 plays.
It's amazing. Obviously, the long touchdown right out of the gate on the second play. This will be another short kick, and it will be returnable from the 15. Farmington looking for maybe a little something on special teams. Nice return there by Dawson Keaton, and he's able to get up to the 30-yard line and just beyond it. So a good return there. Made a couple of guys miss there, Wes. Pretty shifty moves, and that is a good start, at least for Farmington. Now we'll see if the offense can pick up the pace a bit.
Ja'Cory Smith on the tackle. He's the next in line. Big-time recruit. He has got offers from all over the country already. Of course, Arkansas has already offered, but Ja'Cory Smith, Alabama, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Michigan, A&M, only a junior. Watch out for him next year.
Running back set to the right side. Will be a handoff up the middle. And nowhere to go. Parkview stacking the box. Russell Hodge runs into a wall of Patriots, and he is repelled after a very short game, maybe 1 yard there. But that was really the first time that they tried to run between the tackles, and Parkview not having it.
Ja'Cory Smith there again. Kevin Ellis was there.
Yeah.
Those linebackers are free to roam because of those defensive linemen are able to hold up the offensive line.
Two backs set in the backfield along with Aiden Lester. He's going to throw here on 2nd and long. Pressure coming, stepping up, ran into his own lineman, stayed on his feet, and then down he goes. They got to him again, Wes. Just nowhere to go with it. And that was an impressive job there by Jeremy Edwards and Marlon Liddell meeting at the quarterback. Again, you know, we see this a little bit. Unfortunately, we saw it on Saturdays a lot for those of you who watch that team in Northwest Arkansas. Quarterback hold the football, maybe a little bit uncomfortable right now. And certainly, you know, this Patriot defense reputation. And right now, Wes, Aiden Lester looks anything but comfortable right now. It has been a tall order just running their offense. 5-man front, they're going to back one off, but pressure coming late. They're going to try to set up a screen. They couldn't get it. It was dropped by Hodge, and I don't know that he was going to go much of anywhere anyway. And so, again, going the wrong way. The negative yards continue to mount. 13 negative yards now. So 120 to -13, and it'll be punt time again for Farmington. And again, unfortunately, you've got Penny back there waiting. He had a chance at a nice return the first time. Good coverage by Farmington. They've done a good job in that regard so far. But we'll see if Penny can get loose on this one. Snap was low and bounced, but no pressure coming. Gets away a good punt. Lands at the 40. Takes a Farmington bounce, but Penny on the move to the sideline. Cuts it back up, and boy, he got everything he could out of that one. It was a very, very nice punt by Farmington's Ian Shadden, but boy, a better return by Jermaine Penny. And my goodness, Wes, you would talk about squeezing every bit out of it you can, and right back into Farmington territory again.
If he had just kind of reversed and went sideways and then backwards a little bit, I was thinking Joe Adams, that great punt return against Tennessee, same type of sideline, going the same direction. Just doesn't look like there's a whole lot there. And then all of a sudden he gets through everybody and he's gone. Yeah, there's a really nice collection of Farmington fans who have made their way down here on the opposite sideline from the press box. And I'm sure a lot of folks holding their breath on that one. That could have easily been even more of a painful return. But as it is, they will start in Farmington territory. They're going to run a speed sweep off the left side. He's got blockers out in front at the 40, 30, and dragged down around the 28-yard line. They went right back to him, and very impressive for Jermaine Penny. Shows the stamina of that man after that punt return. They go right back to him on a speed sweep, and pretty impressive, and actually good job catching up to make the play there defensively for Farmington. Yeah, they're like, he's warm, he's loose, give him the ball again. It's a cold night. We want to make sure these guys are ready to go. But we got a flag on the play, so it looks like this one is coming back. May have gotten a hold on the edge there, springing him loose. I was just about to say, that was a pretty good block on the outside. I guess it was too good. Well, Parkview's going to move back into Parkview territory. So the Patriots haven't spent much time on this side of the field, and they got a penalty to do it. So we'll see how they handle this one on 1st and 20 now against this Farmington defense. 7:17 to go in the first quarter, and the Patriots in control 14-0. The long touchdown out of the gate and the quick strike drive on the second possession. Trying to go 3 for 3 here. Speaking of, trying to win 3 straight championships as well. And again, off to a good start for Brad Bolding's bunch. And we will see what they come up with here on a 1st and 20 from the 46-yard line. Motioning across is Elston, and then another flag here. This looks like motion or formation, but I'm guessing somebody moved.
Dead ball. Full start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, there aren't a lot of teams, Wes, that have a bunch of plays available for 1st and 25, but I'm guessing this Parkview team has a few. Well, here you go, Farmington. Here's your chance, right? Parkview has made 2 mistakes here with penalties to set themselves back to 1st and long. You need a 3 and out. Here's your opportunity. And there's Coach Brad Bolding. A little upset with his guys right now. Off to a great start, and you do 2 self-inflicted penalties like that. He's disappointed. They're going to motion across and now back. They fake the pitch, hand it off up the middle, and off to the races goes Dak Crosby, tripped up back into Farmington territory. Good burst up the middle, good blocking in the interior part of that line, Wes, and they get almost all of it back on one play, so that'll put a smile on Brad Bolding's face. Touchdown saving tackle that time by Farmington safety. He comes up, makes a good form tackle on the running back, Brandon Clark, with the tackle, but yeah, you get 21. That's just deflating. Yeah, it is. 1st and 22, and they get 21. Yeah, a lot of eye candy there, too. Motioning Elston out and back, and now they're going to run it up the middle. Now off to the left side, and there goes Quentin Murphy, and he's tackled down inside the 30, so that'll move the chains again for Parkview. 1st and 10, 6.5 minutes to play in the first quarter, and Parkview once again threatening deep in Farmington territory. They're going to mark this at the 29, so 1st and 10 now for the Parkview Patriots. And a good patient run there, Wes, by Quentin Murphy, the senior. Well, this is how deep they are. Quentin Murphy comes off the field, one future Razorback. Cameron Settles comes onto the field, another future Razorback. It will be Bunting back in at quarterback now, and he's got Settles set to his right. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. They're going to throw it outside. It is caught by Elston around the 31. upfield, driving himself through that Farmington defender. It'll be a nice pickup. They're going to give him 9 to the 21-yard line, just short of the first down. But that's an easy throw and catch and an easy completion for Bunting, and Elston knows what to do when he gets the ball in space.
Parkview picking up the pace. They're already ready to go.
Elston in that inside receiver slot on the right side. He's got the big man, Kyron Marshall, the 6'5 receiver, on the outside over there. Got some high safeties playing over the top, West in the 2 deep. Just trying to negate a huge play here up the middle. And there they go again, down to around the 11-yard line, just doing work in between the tackles. That was Settles on the handoff. And Settles able to pick up another first down. Parkview getting basically whatever they want here up front.
You pointed it out, the deep safety. So what do? You run the ball. What a great move right there on Settles. Cuts it into the inside, makes the defender miss. Picks up the first down, moves the ball to the 12-yard line. If they're going to play the safeties deep, just run it. This offensive line's good enough. You got the running backs. It's pick your poison. You bring the safeties up, then all of a sudden they're going to start throwing.
6 men in the box, and Parkview will try to run against. It does not work that time. Good job cutting down Murphy as he went to the right side. So the first negative play that wasn't a penalty for Farmington defensively there. Good job by the Cardinals responding. They loaded the box. They made a pay, and that time probably should have gone back to the air.
Parkview gets a big play from Dawson Keaton coming up. You see, you're exactly right. They had everyone close to the line of scrimmage and able to get that big play there to set up a 2nd and long.
Murphy in at quarterback. Again, got to keep track of who's in, 10 or 7. Got Settles set to his right, and he is going to run it right up the middle at the 10, inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. They're going to say his knee touched at the 4, but that's just too easy for Quentin Murphy running through a would-be tackle there. Good effort by Brandon Clark, but he couldn't bring him down until he was inside the 5-yard line. So now it'll be 3rd and 2. They can get a first down without scoring here, but I'm sure they're thinking touchdown. And here comes Quentin Murphy, the senior, with 8 rushing touchdowns on the season, over 400 yards coming into the game. Settles set to the right. And it'll be a handoff up the middle. Farmington there, and that's going to be right at the stick. They're going to say maybe just a hair short of the first down marker. So it'll bring up 4th and very short. I don't think there's really any decision here for Brad Bolding, Wes.
Bryson Beaver came in from behind, kind of pulled Settles back, stopped the momentum, and was able to keep him from getting that first down. No, there is no decision here. It is 4th and short. You have your guys, the big guys on the offensive line. They want a big push here and get the first down.
Yeah, this looks like the big push, but they fumbled it. It's picked up by Elston, and they're going to blow this one dead. And I don't know that anybody got set. This may be a 5-yard loss. They may have snapped it before it got set. Obviously, Emmanuel Bunting wasn't ready for it because the ball went right through his legs.
Mid-ball.
Snapped by the center, and that will back them up a bit. And we'll see what they decide to do here. And just not on the same page there with his center, Jaden Johnson, and the junior just snapped it right behind him. Good heads-up play there by Elston, who was really intending to push his quarterback forward for a first down, I think.
Felt like the offensive line moved except for the center, and that threw everything off. And then quarterback wasn't ready, goes through his hands. It was just a mess for Parkview, and so they'll move him back 5 and bring out the kicking unit.
Yep, going to settle for a field goal attempt here. And as we mentioned, very successful season in the kicking game, and we've seen him on the extra points. He's been bombing them, and there's another one hammered right down the middle, and that is good. So the lead extended to 17-0 now for Parkview with 3:42 remaining here in the first half. Solomon Aguiar, he is a senior, and again, that is his 10th made field goal of the season on 13 attempts, and he's only missed a few PATs this year as well. Very good season for him, and Parkview extends that lead. And you mentioned disheartening for Farmington, and you get them backed up, Wes, a 1st and 25, and you can't get off the field.
There's a small win. You hold them to a field goal. That's better than the touchdown, obviously. You don't want to be down 21-0 before you get your first down of the game. So a small victory for the defense. Now it's up to the offense. Got to get the offense going. And it starts with the first down. They haven't had a first down yet. Just small steps. Get a first down, move the chains, get a little confidence going in the offense, and see if you can't get the big play. Aiden Lester to one of his wide receivers. Just hasn't happened. Nothing clicking yet. They just got to find something on offense.
It's been absolute domination so far. 193 yards for Parkview to -13 for Farmington so far today.
Support for Arkansas PBS Sports is provided by Wendy's. Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger features roasted mushrooms, crispy bacon, Munster cheese, and creamy garlic spread on Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef. Available for a limited time at participating Wendy's locations.
Did get a pretty nice return last time for Farmington. This one will be returnable again. And again from about the 12-yard line across the 20, 25. Again, a good juke. That was almost a carbon copy of the last one, Wes. Pretty nifty moves again by Dawson Keaton. Makes a man miss, hops to the middle of the field, and gets it out close to the 30-yard line. They're going to say down at the 29, but that has really been about their best play. And unfortunately, they're probably tired of returning kicks so far because that means Parkview just scored again.
Well, Dawson Keaton leads the team in receptions with 52 for 853 yards, 10 touchdowns. He is athletic, nice, nifty moves. You see that on the kick return. Now need to get him involved in the offense.
Hayden Lester with Luke Elsick to his left. They're going to hand it to him up the middle, and a really good job filling that hole, West, defensively. My goodness, and coming with an attitude. Kevin Ellis laying the wood inside there. Looked like there was maybe going to be a little bit of room to run, but he said no, sir, and he filled that gap quickly.
These linebackers are very active for Parkview. We've seen Kevin Ellis, Ja'Cory Smith, Chris Edwards. They are able to roam free and attack once again because of the defensive line, gobbling up those offensive linemen, keeping them off the linebackers.
Elsick and Hodge flanking their quarterback. He'll throw here on second down. They're going to try to run an inside screen, and it is tackled quickly. Down goes Roman Nye. Ja'Cory Smith, Wes, you mentioned it. Everybody's on him, and instinctive, absolutely. And the junior, 48 tackles coming in, leading this dominant defense, and he makes a big play there, and that pushes him back to the original line of scrimmage. So now a 3rd and 10 upcoming. You got to stay out of third long, and that has not been the case so far for Farmington. Parkview having its way with 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter and trying to get the ball back here, leading 17-0. Throwing, obviously, on 3rd down, outside, and a completion at the 42, and there is the first down for Farmington. Finally, something positive happening, and a good throw out there, and a nice catch for Dawson Keaton. And he's making plays on special teams and now on offense.
That's what I wanted to see. Get Dawson Keaton involved. He ran a great route. Look, he's got Cameron Settles on him. Cameron Settles is a very good high school cornerback. In fact, he could play cornerback for the Razorbacks if they choose. Keaton ran a great route.
So we'll see if Lester can build on this momentum. Steps up, drops it off to his running back across the 40 and close to the 45-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and about 7 here coming up. Tommy Tice, the coach for Farmington, unlikely track to get here, Wes. Retired for 9 years, 42 years in the business. This is 43rd, and trying to bring a championship to Farmington for the first time since the early 70s. But obviously they've dug themselves a hole, but this guy's a legend. He's already in the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame and 5 others.
He picked up win number 301 last week. That ties Coach Malhan, former coach of Cabot, as the number 2 winningest coach in Arkansas football history.
Hayden Lester trying to go big ball down the left sideline, missing Aiken Johnson, who has been one of his best receivers this year. He's got 6 touchdowns on the season, 47 catches. In fact, he's got 3 receivers who have 6 or more touchdowns and 45 catches or more on the season. So again, a lot of success. Really kind of a 3-headed monster receiver this year. Dawson Keaton, who we just saw, Roman Nye, and Aiken Johnson, who they just missed there. Going to throw again here on 3rd down. Has time. Going big ball down the middle and nearly intercepted at the 30. Miscommunication there clearly on what the route was supposed to be, but it will fall incomplete and 4th and long. And now decision time, I think, for Tommy Tice. Do you punt him back and try to extend the field, or you try to keep your offense on the field here and get a 1st down? It looks like he is going to roll the dice here with the offense.
Good look of Omarion Robinson, the Oklahoma signee. Came up just a little bit short on his diving attempt for the interception.
Twin receivers out to the left. Actually, 3 receivers, and 1 receiver back to the short side of the field. Farmington with time. He'll step up and run this time. Fakes the pass and got hit. Ball is out, and it'll be picked up by Parkview. They're going to say he was down, and they will blow it dead. But it will be Parkview football just into Farmington territory at the 49-yard line. So that defense bent but did not break, and they will give the offense good starting field position once again. And Parkview's got to be licking his chops, and they are fired up down there. We can check in down with Sierra on the sideline. And Sierra, it's been an absolute dominant performance
They may look at that. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter with the turnover of possession, but he was not down.
Absolutely. Let's check in with Sierra down on the sideline. And Sierra, obviously, they got to be fired up down there in that Parkview sideline.
Yeah, you can hear everyone chanting. I mean, it's cold, but this team is fired up. You could hear the entire crowd just go extremely loud when they got that stop, and I expect the Parkview defense to have a little more plays as well as this game goes on.
Straight up the middle, and that time Farmington right on it defensively, immediately tackling down the running back, and so a very short gain. They handed it to Crosby again between the tackles. They'll pick up a couple of yards to the 47, but it'll be 2nd and 8 upcoming. So that's, again, a small win for Farmington, and you got to take them where you can get them.
Just want to point out to our fans watching at home that are interested in other high school football games, we're showing some of the scores at the bottom of our screen from time to time. We just saw Bismarck leading Fordyce 7-0 in the 3A semifinal game. Nice little addition to the telecast tonight to keep up with some of the other action going on tonight.
Yeah, a couple of championship games tomorrow here at War Memorial, and then a slew next weekend as well. So we round it out. Up the middle, there goes Elston, and he will fight for yardage, but he's only going to pick up about 3 or 4. So here you go. Cardinals with a big opportunity now to get off the field, and they're going to have a timeout.
Coach Bolding didn't like something. He called the timeout, and he's telling his team, get over here, come over here.
1:05 to go with the Parkview timeout. That is their first called timeout. 17-0. Patriots lead it early on over Farmington. And again, the Cardinals finally got a little something going on that last offensive possession. Unfortunately for them, it results in no points again, but they do now have 7 yards on the day. Parkview with 195, 109 of those through the air, 89 on the ground.
And we finally saw Aiden Lester be able to get out of the pocket. Parkview's done a good job of hemming him in, keeping him inside the pocket, but that last time he was able to roll out, was trying to fake, almost had enough yards to pick up the first down. Farmington got a little something going on that last drive, picked up a first down. I got to say, though, Cameron Settles, he was beaten earlier by that great play by Dawson Keaton. On that last play on 4th down, they ran a little jerk route with the wide receiver where he goes in, fakes inside, and when the quarterback goes inside, then he pops to the outside. Cameron Settles sat on it, didn't bite on the inside fake, was right there on the outside fake. So Lester had to come off of that wide receiver, look to the other side. Nothing was there, so then that's when he took off running.
What a day for Emmanuel Bunting. I don't know how quarterback ratings are settled, Wes, but he's at 493.9 right now. 4 of 4, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns, and goes back to work here on this 3rd down play. Bunting has a man down the seam. It is intercepted off the tip ball, and Farmington down the left sideline and out of bounds they go, and there is Dawson Keaton. He has been the MVP for Farmington so far on special teams, on offense, and now on defense. He's the only one really making big plays for them so far, but that was a big-time play off a tip pass.
That time Bunting was just a little high on his throw. Receiver goes up high to try to get it, just goes off the tip of his fingertips and right into Farmington's hands.
Yeah, it was a little high, but frankly, I would expect that one to be caught, generally. And you see him go up for it. Yeah, that's a tough play for sure, but rising for it was Kyron Marshall. Again, 6'5", but he threw it to a guy who probably needed to be about 6'7". But I would have expected him to come up with it. They're going to go to the air here on the quick change. They've got a man down the seam. It is caught at the 10 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Farmington. And they are back in this ball game. A 35-yard strike from Aiden Lester. And he got it into the end zone on an open receiver, and it was Cameron Miller, running back, who is a junior, and that was a big-time play right there. Didn't have him with any numbers as far as the stats go this year. Don't know that he hasn't any catches, but as far as the numbers we were able to get, but that was a big-time play. Good route. He's wide open, and a nice delivery by Aiden Lester for a 35-yard strike. So now Farmington back within a couple of scores here. Extra point pending here to make it 17-7. A little bit of a high snap. Kick is up. We got a flag on the play. Kick went through, but we'll find out what the infraction was here. By the way, haven't talked about it, our officials today. Trey Brigham is our referee. Mark Vest, the line judge. George McCarty, the umpire. Back judge is Chris Esch. Terry Aiken, the linesman, and our center judge tonight is John Duncan. So we'll hear once again from Trey Brigham here in a moment. They're conferring. teams went off the field, so everybody seems to think that the extra point will stand. That would make it 17-7. And what a throw by number 17, Aiden Lester, the junior. It was a big-time pass. And I will say this, I think for the most part, on the initial part of these plays, he's getting good protection, and that time he makes the delivery. So the extra point is good.
Personal foul. Parkview. 15 yards. Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
All right, so a 15-yard penalty against Parkview. Don't get numbers in high school, unfortunately. Would like to know who that was assessed on. I bet Brad Bolding will find out. But it does set them back a bit. And for Farmington, a chance maybe to kick one into the end zone and not have to worry about a return.
Well, one of the keys to the game for Parkview is just take care of the ball. Do what you do. Don't give them anything. And what happens? You get an interception, and immediately, a couple plays later, touchdown for Farmington. That's a game changer.
Yeah.
It was 17-0. That sideline was dead over there. Farmington had zero momentum, and now they have life. Now they're believing. This is a team, like we've said all night, they've been behind in the playoffs, but found a way to come back time after time after time again. You didn't want to give them that hope.
Do you risk an onside kick here, Wes, maybe? I know they had to recover a couple in their semifinal game. Do you maybe do it with the short field here?
I watched them do it twice against Lakeside. Why not? If it's unsuccessful, Parkview gets the ball around the 30. What's the difference?
They will kick it deep. They're not going to take any chances. This one will go into the end zone, actually through the end zone. So it will be Parkview football. No risk there. But yeah, I think that would have been an interesting time to try one there. Make them pay for their sins there, Wes, but they do not do it. And they will take the safe route. And so it'll be Parkview's. I will say this, the upside for Farmington, this is the worst field position that Parkview's had so far.
Yeah, my thinking is how explosive is Parkview? What's the difference? They have guys that can take it 70 or they can take it 80. It's just 10 more yards with the speed that they have. But look, I get it. It gives your defense more room to work. Try to see if you can't get another turnover by this defense and flip this game a little bit. Get that sideline over there on the opposite side warmed up. I know they're a lot warmer right now than they were about 10 minutes ago.
There's no doubt about it. Absolutely. Well, of course, I don't believe in broadcaster jinxes, but we were just singing Bunting's praises, and then he throws the interception. They're going to hand it off right up the middle, and off to the races goes Cameron Settles West. He is going to go 80 yards to the house. Someone just suggested that they are capable of it, my friend. He showed it right there. That was incredible. Right up the gut, and before the end of the first quarter, 7 more, or 6 more for the time being, for the Parkview Patriots, who have opened up a lead now and extended it over Farmington. A little misdirection there, and Farmington did not respond well. And boy, once Cameron Settles gets loose, he is not going to be caught. Very impressive. He made one man miss on a shoestring tackle there, and that was it. Wow, what a play. With 36 seconds remaining, 23-7, Patriots.
When we show this replay, you're going to see the hole he has to run through. You could have driven a truck through that hole. That's how big it was. His biggest obstacle was the referee who fell down in the middle of the field to make sure he didn't trip over the referee. Look at this hole.
Yeah.
Cut back lane, bam.
They walled it off on that backside. Absolutely brilliant.
Watch out for the official. Oh. Runs past him, he's fine. Shoestring catch, tackle, and he's fine.
Good effort there by Nate Bouillon, not giving up on it, chasing it down. But unfortunately for him and Farmington, they could not quite get there. So here we go. It'll be an extra point to make it 24-7. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. It has been 40 points plus in all 3 of the previous playoff games for Parkview. And they look like they have designs on a little more than that tonight. Extra point is up and good, and the lead extended. Parkview rolling here tonight in the capital city, 24-7. My goodness.
That was impressive.
Total yardage now 278 to 42. That is, boy, you talk about a gut punch after you have a little bit of a buoying of your hopes after you get the interception, nice return, and then you get the strike for the score, and then you give one up right then on the next play for 80. My goodness.
Oh, momentum's huge, especially in high school football. And Farmington had it, and Parkview just took it away from Farmington in one play.
Well, I'll tell you what I would do if I was Aguiar. I would kick it away from Dawson Keaton. He's a dangerous weapon for them, and I don't know what their plan is here. They do have a 24-7 lead to play with, but I would try not to let him make any more plays if I can help it. We got a long way to go in this one.
It's been a long first quarter.
Has been.
31 points in one quarter.
Yeah, Farmington with -8 rush yards so far. Now Parkview, after that 80-yard burst, 169. Bunting's got over 100 yards passing. Settles 5 carries, 123 and a touchdown. He's averaging nearly 25 yards a carry. So we'll see if they do in fact go away from Keaton or not. They are going to kick away from Keaton wisely. This will be a return from the 10. The 15, and a good job by Parkview, and it works to perfection. Get the ball away from the most dangerous returner, and good things happen for you. Not to say that Dustin Haffelder isn't a good returner as well, but obviously it has been Keaton making the plays for them really in all 3 phases so far. He's been their best bet.
Farmington running back out on the field. They face a 17-point deficit, 32 seconds left in the first quarter. They got to move the ball. They got to go get some points now. Now we know what type of game this is going to be. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Parkview's going to get their points. Now Farmington has to answer.
Lester back to pass again, has time. This time delivering one at the 30. It is caught. There goes that guy again, Wes. Dawson Keaton, nice catch, going up for it. And he's running great routes because he is shaking loose of these great defensive backs of Parkview. So give a lot of credit where it's due. Lester hanging in there, though. I got to give him credit. Not getting happy feet, holding the ball, letting that route develop, and delivering a strike. 14 seconds and counting down here in the first quarter. And we may see this one go to the end of the quarter. They may go ahead and snap it here. Don't have to if they don't want to.
Let's give credit to that offensive line. How long did he have to throw? That was a long developing route. He had plenty of time in the pocket.
And that will be the final play of this first quarter. So after one, it's Parkview 24, Farmington 7. The 2-time defending state champs on their way once again. And we'll see if the Cardinals can put up a fight. You're watching the Centennial Bank Football Championships right here on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Responders put their lives on the line for us every single day. And in uncertain times, we lean on these heroes to help restore stability. As a key component of a strong community, you will find stability at the core of Centennial Bank. Here, we believe in supporting those that help provide a safe and secure community for us to thrive in. Your financial safety and security should not be overlooked. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryan. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryan. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
This is the end of the road for football season, but the guys that play on the hardwood, they're just getting warmed up.
Here comes Gaines. He's going to slam it home. Send it inside. Good passing, and look at the cutter.
Before you know it, they'll be invading Bank OZK Arena in Hot Springs for the Centennial Bank State Basketball Finals. 12 championship games in 3 days. Mid-March is going to be electric. Tip-off is set for March 13th, and it's going to run all weekend long. For all the ways to watch, just log on myarpbs.org/sports.
24-7 after the first quarter, and Parkview out to a big lead over Farmington. The turnover turned into points by the Cardinals, one of the few positives in that first quarter for them. We're going to head down to the sideline in a moment here, but let's get back to live action here. Lester back to pass, empty backfield, goes too tall for his receiver, and it's intercepted. It going the other way. Cameron Settles just had that 80-yard run and add an interception to his resume today. Inside the 30, he'll take it back, and that is a big blow to Farmington right there. But how about Settles trying to put an early stamp maybe on the MVP of this game, Wes?
Settles had 2 interceptions in last year's championship game. He came into tonight with no interceptions this season. Just got his first interception of the season. Cameron Settles, a two-way player for Parkview, and gets it done on defense. And look, he wasn't trying to stop right there. He was thinking pick 6. He was wanting to take it all the way back to the house.
Absolutely. Let's head down to the sideline quickly and check in with Sierra.
Yeah, I want to apologize to Cam Settles because I currently have his turnover chain right now. The P chain. They call it the PIP chain here at Parkview. Whenever a player gets a great defensive stop, they get to wear this. And I promise y'all, I'm not wearing this jacket because I want an excuse to wear another jacket because it's below 30 degrees.
I think that's exactly what I would be doing the rest of the night if they would let me. There's a completion of Montario Elston Well, we were getting an update on the chain theft down there. I'm sure she'll give that part back. I'd keep the code if I were you, though. So a first down for Parkview, again, inside the 15 of Farmington, rolling right now, 11:28, very early part of this second quarter, and a 24-7 lead for Parkview. Elston in motion, pop pass to him. He's off the right edge. He's going to stop. There's a flag inside the 10, and he will be taken down just inside the 5. He was diving for the goal line, but I think this one's coming back, Wes, with a block on the edge, maybe a hold over there.
Yeah, I think the blocker on the edge was trying to seal it off, couldn't quite get there, and reached out and was holding a little bit. And that official on the sideline had a good view of it.
Just a dominating first quarter. Parkview hovering around 300 yards.
On the offense.
And this one is coming back. So they've had to overcome some penalties, Wes, but it hasn't made a real difference so far because of the dominant nature of what they've been doing on both, really, the offense, really on both sides of the ball, but I was going to say both running game and passing game. Again, a perfect start for Bunting. He was 4 of 4, now 5 of 6 with the 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. His quarterback rating's all the way down to 329.
And not a perfect night for Parkview. They got the turnover. That was their 5th penalty of the night. 5 penalties in a quarter and 1 play. That won't have Coach Bolding very happy.
Dak Crosby set to the left side of Emmanuel Bunting. He will throw outside, caught at the 23, and turning it up the field. And again, this guy has a real knack for making something out of nothing. That's Jermaine Penny back to the middle of the field, dragged down around the 24-yard line, and looked like he was dead to rights, but he is, boy, pretty brilliant at making guys miss. And he's a good-sized receiver, Wes. He's listed at 5'8", 170. He looks a little thicker than that to me, but he is a guy that is very quick and very shifty, and it's hard to get a good read on him. And he made 3 or 4 guys miss right there. Very impressive. May have been a face mask that they got away with as well, but a good job finally finishing that off for Morgan Schrader, who is one of their better defenders.
If he was 6 foot tall, he'd be playing in the SEC next year. Unfortunately, he's 5'8", and looks like he's going to Northwest Missouri State.
Schrader, by the way, brilliant year, 101 tackles on the season. Their leading tackler. There's a pass down the seam, and it is nearly intercepted. We got a flag in the backfield, may get a late hit on the quarterback. We had a dart thrown to the 10, though, and it was nearly intercepted by Farmington. Good job breaking on the ball, but I think this one may be benefiting Parkview. We'll see if it's roughing the passer.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
You can't blame Taylor Conran for trying to make a play. I mean, you guys are desperate to make something good happen there, but just a hair late on that one. And Bunting takes the blow, and that will get them 15 yards. The one thing we know you can't do if you're Farmington is help them out. And that was kind of a bang-bang play, but you got to hold up there. And I know he knows that. But I can understand. You got to be frustrated when you can't get to the quarterback and not much is going your way.
Well, Bunting felt the pressure, and that's why the throw was a little bit behind his receiver. He had to get rid of it early.
Empty backfield, 1st and 10, and this is Quentin Murphy at quarterback. He'll go right up the middle off the left side, and this will take him down to between the 6 and 7 yard line. So 2nd down upcoming and goal for Parkview. Just a couple minutes into this second quarter, Parkview leading 24-7, looking to add to that lead now. It's been a dominant performance by the 2-time defending state champs so far as they continue to run their quarterbacks through. You know the old saying, if you got 2, you don't have 1? They've got 2, and it's pretty good. Seems to be working just fine. Handoff up the middle again. Nice drive up the middle, but not enough to get to the end zone. Good job by Farmington fighting back and holding Dak Crosby out of the end zone there as he went right up the middle. We've got a telestrator here tonight. I've challenged Wes to get on it. I don't know if he's going to start pointing out some blocks. I can't wait for you to jump on there a little bit later, though. I believe in you. Handoff up the middle in the end zone goes Dak Crosby.
You want me to show the blocking on that?
Yeah, show me the shoot that he ran through there. The lead is extended 30-7 for the moment. 9:24 left in the second quarter. Impressive. Parkview getting it done again. They have been just rolling, and that is fantastic work by that offensive line.
You can see big 71 come crashing down. 14 there blocking.
Yeah, Jaden Jackson, the tight end, getting in there. Nice job for the senior. All right, waiting on the extra point. This will make it 31-7 if it is converted. And boy, all the life taken out of that Farmington sideline. Extra point is up and good, and it's 31-7. 9:24 remaining here in the second quarter. It's the 5A state title game. It's brought to you by Centennial Bank on Arkansas PBS Sports.
every memory, from that first car to your first home to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
It's a stirring celebration with unforgettable music from the Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square.
We attain wholeness when we can bring joy and light into the world, which is the message of Hanukkah.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
You know, I think sports are really big to a lot of people, and because it's an important part of our fabric in our community. And the one good thing about what I've seen is it's high quality production. You know, you think of the small communities all over Arkansas, it's a big deal that they can turn on the TV or DVR or whatever and know they're going to get a quality product. And so I think it just expands the focus of what PBS is doing. You know, Arkansas PBS is doing a great job, and I think it's part of education.
Welcome back to the 5A State Championship game. A dominating start here for Parkview, 31-7 with 9:24 still remaining in the first half. And it's trivia time here tonight. Parkview aiming to win a third straight title today. How many schools have completed at least one three-peat in school history? So marinate on that. We'll give you the answer a little bit later in the half.
Well, we know Bryant because they had 5 in a row until last year. Pulaski Academy.
You have to drop them in, don't you?
Greenwood, Pine Bluff, Central, Shiloh Christian?
I'll never tell. Well, I will tell eventually.
This is just modern history, and it goes way back. I know there are some teams that had some great runs.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good kick. It's going to drive the returner back to the 5-yard line, out across the 10. Great coverage by Parkview, and they drop him around the 14-yard line. Another return, and they keep going away from Dawson Keaton. They go back to Halffelder, and he has nowhere to go there. Great coverage and bad field position to start here for Farmington.
Jaden Jefferson, a sophomore, out there on the kick return team, and you also had Ja'Cory Smith there ready to clean it up if he needed to.
That big 4-man front for Parkview. Boy, they are doing some work, aren't they, Wes? Tell you what, Jeremy Edwards on that left end, and you got Marlon Liddell, the defensive lineman, one of the seniors up there up front. Man's going to come in motion for Farmington. 3 receivers to the left side for Lester to work with. He's going to throw it underneath. He's got a couple of receivers out in front blocking. Nice play for about 15 on first down as he dumps it out to Russell Hodge. Again, easy throw and catch, quick developing play, great design, and well done by those receivers out there blocking for the running back.
It's actually Luke Elsick coming out of the backfield. He gets a good block right there to open it up for Farmington to get to the sideline.
So 1st and 10 at the 30 now for the Cardinals. 9:12 remaining in the first quarter, 31-7. Tight coverage on the outside over to the wide side of the field. They're going to run it off the right edge, and this will be a handoff to Elsick, who gets driven into the Parkview sideline. He'll pick up 5. They're going to say 4 on first down out to the 34-yard line. So 2nd and 6 upcoming for the Cardinals here. But a nice run. Again, a little bit of room to go here now. And Parkview, I'm sure not happy right now, but again, still have not even given up 70 yards of total offense. In fact, haven't even given up positive yardage in the run game yet. Still minus 8 yards. Lester will throw here, and that was nearly intercepted. That would have been the 2nd of the game, right to Settles, and he couldn't believe it. It went right to him and bounced off him, and it'll be incomplete.
Surprised him a little bit. It got past the wide receiver, and it was on top of him before he could get his hands up, and hit him right in the face mask or in the shoulder pads, bounced off of him. He's going to be thinking, as great as he's played, that's what he's going to remember and think about tonight later on.
That ball was a duck coming out of the hand of Lester. That was not a good effort for him. And obviously, again, he and Keaton not on the same page there. He will throw it again here. And this ball to the wide outside. Heck of a throw down to the 45-yard line. And that is caught by Dawson Keaton. So a big pickup there of 11 yards. So a first down for Farmington. And that is a right hash left sideline throw. That is a tough play for any quarterback.
That was a long throw. The ball was in the air a long time. That tells you how good of a route that Dawson Keaton ran to get that wide open. If the cornerback's anywhere close, the cornerback can make a play on that ball in the air, but he was wide open.
Yep, got a timeout for the Patriots, their second of the half. So one left for Parkview. Farmington with 3. 31-7 is our score. Let's get that trivia question back up there, and we'll give you the answer, Wes. You didn't miss any, but you didn't get them all. The answer is how many three-peats? 12 is the answer. Barton, speaking of old school.
Yep.
Bryant, El Dorado.
Oh, I didn't get El Dorado.
Greenwood, Junction City. How could you?
Yeah, my fault.
Little Rock Central, McGee, Nashville. Mentioned Pine Bluff and Pulaski Academy, Shiloh, and Texarkana, another one.
A little ways back there for Texarkana.
Absolutely. I think he did a pretty darn good job there.
Should have gotten Junction City.
Yeah.
And
it's been a minute, but they were dominant, for a period of time for sure. I think we all expected him maybe to, maybe still be playing.
Well, Conway Christian beat them last week, and you see what Conway Christian did today. They ran into a very good team, a state championship team.
I heard a lot of people talking about how they thought Junction City would get them in that game, but boy, you complete the perfect season. Congrats again to them. Our first champion crowned today. Obviously, we had our 8-man championship last night. Lester back to pass, again with time, outside, and again nearly intercepted. That one, Jace White had a shot at it and just couldn't quite get to it. But again, Lester's either been right on target or nowhere close on a few of these throws. But again, I will say his offensive line is giving him time. Very impressive. And Aiden now 8 of 14, 88 yards with a touchdown and an interception. But that one, not sure exactly what happened, but boy, he had a good chance.
Demarion Robinson, the Oklahoma signee. I think he was going to catch it, but Jace tipped it away from him. That's what Demarion was kind of laughing and yelling at him about. Man, that was mine. I had it.
Yeah, we really haven't called his name tonight. Lester will throw again with time. Now rolling around backwards, going the wrong way, and he goes down at the 30-yard line, and a combo sack there. Had a couple of Patriots in the vicinity. Micah Johnson getting there first and leading that charge up front, West. But frankly, not the best decision by Lester. You've got to maybe just go down there and not give up any additional yards. And now you're going to be way backed up here with 8:06 to go. And we'll see what the official number is. But it looks to be about 25. We do have a flag, though, on the play. They're going to sort this out.
Personal foul against the offense.
Oh, boy.
15-yard penalty. Down counted. Third down.
Oh, a dead ball foul on top of that. So 15 more. So now it'll be 3rd and 40 or 2nd and 40.
Wow. I'll have to do the math. They got to get to the Parkview 40, and the ball is on the
45.
15.
Yeah, they got to get to the 45, right?
45, you're right. So 35 and 5, 40.
Again, don't know what plays you have drawn up here. 3rd and 40 now for Farmington. Tough situation. Lester will throw to try to get some of this back. He's going to go down the left sideline. He's got a man over there. Back shoulder throw. Couldn't get back to it. I guess you hope best case scenario maybe you get a pass interference. He was looking for Aiken Johnson. Good coverage over there by the defensive back, and that was Jace White again over in the vicinity. So to bring up 4th down now in an obvious punting situation for Farmington. 31-7. 8 minutes exactly remaining in the first half. Parkview has dominated early and never looked back. 316 to 69 the total yards. Negative 19 yards rushing for the Cardinals. Very impressive by this Parkview defensive front. And even when Lester's had time, he hasn't looked overly comfortable, but he has stood in there and made a couple of nice throws as well. So the punt coming for Shadden, just outside his own goal line. Low snap, bounce back. He's going to hit this one, and it'll land around the 44. Caught, and still on his feet for Parkview. And there he is, the shifty Jermaine Penny. Still running, now he reverses field. He's going across, now back across the field. He gets inside the 40, and down he finally goes. Ran about 35 for that return But again, just shows you how hard it is to get him down. And he's got a belief that he can outrun the entire defense even when they've got him flanked.
There was a flag down there at the very end, too. We'll have to see what that was. But, man, Penny is so exciting. One of the fastest players on the field. You saw a little bit of the speed when he reversed field. It looked like Farmington had an angle, but he outran him. But, man, give credit to Farmington. Their punt team, coverage team, they were spread out.
Yeah.
They stayed in their lanes. They chased him down, kept him from returning it for a touchdown.
Trey Brigham's been busy tonight, sorting it out with his crew. Trying to figure out the call here. Haven't had any instant replay yet, Wes, but I know you guys had one in the 2A game earlier today. That's something that's available here in these state championship games, and a nice thing to have so you can get these calls right with so much on the line.
Well, turnovers are going to take a look at. If there's a question about that turnover, I hadn't had anything like that today. But in the earlier game, we had a quarterback for East Poinsett County that was scrambling and was trying to lateral it or throw
They're
it.
in the return, blocking the back. Return team.
Oh, yeah.
10-yard
penalty.
penalty.
The big one, I would say.
First down.
Comes flying in. It's Kevin Ellis, a little over-aggressive there, and that will result in lost yardage back to the 45-yard line. So a lot of work undone there for Jermaine Penny, but he looked like he was having a good time, so I don't think he's probably too bent out of shape about it. He actually took a bad shot there at the end of that run, too, and then a little bit of a hit in the back as well for Kevin Ellis. So he kind of took the brunt of that one in addition to delivering a blow. It is Murphy at quarterback, and he will hand it off. Nope, keep it left side. Still on his feet inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line, and another first down for Parkview. Just dominating in the run game and getting whatever they want. And Murphy not only gets the 13-yard run, but then he helps up a defender as well. So he's doing all kinds of work out there.
I think the impressive thing about Murphy is just that quick speed. I mean, he gets to his top-end speed so fast. I mean, that was a 13-yard run, and he just hit it so fast and picked up 13 yards in no time.
Yep, 1st and 10 now from the 33-yard line for Parkview with twins left and right. Running back set to the left side, and they will run it up the middle again. They'll keep it that time. Murphy still on the move. He'll pick up about 6 that time, down to the 27-yard line. 7 minutes counting here in the first half. Parkview rolling 31-7, and Farmington doing its level best to try to stay in this ball game and give themselves a chance, but Parkview trying to put this one away before we get to the second half action.
Murphy out, bunting in at quarterback.
Yeah, Manuel's been great today. He's the only quarterback that's thrown it today. 7 of 8 for 138, couple of touchdowns. I think if I'm Quentin Murphy and things continue this way, I'm lobbying for a chance to throw it a little bit. There's a run up the middle and running through tackles. There goes Dak Crosby, and he's going to get all the way into the end zone. 27 yards for the score, and Parkview extends its lead further now. That was impressive. Running through arm tackles, Dak Crosby at 5'8", 175, showing the strength, Wes. Little stiff arm early, and then keeps those feet churning and on into the end zone. High knees and impressive.
I love seeing that. Cameron Settles, who's normally in there, one of the first guys to greet his backup after his backup gets the touchdown.
So another extra point. I'll tell you what, Solomon Aguiar is going to be a tired young man when this one's all said and done at the rate they're going. They are, we talked about that 40-point mark, Wes. They are almost there here before the end of the first half. His extra point on the way again, and it is good again. With 6:26 remaining, it's all Parkview, 38-7 after that extra points converted, and another touchdown run for this Parkview offense, which shows no signs of slowing down.
You see the blocking right there. Some might call that a hold on Landers, but you know what? He got away with it, creates the hole. The back hits it fast and gets across for the score. Maddox Hampton is our all-star, PBS all-star. Check him out from Nettleton. He's going to play baseball at UA Rich Mountain, 3.85 GPA. Big congratulations to Maddox Hampton from Nettleton.
No, I was getting to a 3.85, Wes, was by adding 2 semesters together. It's impressive. And an athlete. Doing good work.
Football and baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dual sports star.
Well, quarterback, you know, gotta have a good arm. So, all right, Parkview will kick it off again. And again, like I said, Solomon Aguiar does all the work when it comes to the kicking for Parkview. And He's going to kick it off again. They have found something they like over there, going to the left side instead of the right side. And this time, short of the 20 again. A great job getting down there defensively. My goodness, Kevin Ellis making plays, Wes, on special teams, on defense. One bad block in the back, but hey, you can't have everything, you know.
That makes up for it, right?
Absolutely. That was big time, and he's fired up. Tell you what, you would never know if you're Parkview that it's 38-7. They're having a blast out there, and they are hyped. And again, this is a tough situation for Farmington. You got to kind of hold on to the rope at this point, because this one is certainly getting away from you. We'll see what Lester and this offense can come up with now.
Well, Ellis and these Parkview starters have been in a situation where they look at the scoreboard, one more touchdown, the mercy rule comes into effect, and they're not playing much in the second half, so they're going to have as much fun as they can in the first half.
Hodge off the left side, undercut around the 20, or shy of the 20. That'll be no gain on first down, and Hodge slow to get up. And a Parkview player goes over to check on him. That's Jermaine Penny checking on him, but Hodge just cut down on this cold night here at War Memorial Stadium. And it'll be 2nd and 10 upcoming now for the Cardinals.
Well, that was a good tackle by Jace White. I mean, Hodge is a big guy. You can't go high on him. He may give you a stiff arm and embarrass you on TV and just throw you to the ground. Instead, he goes low, takes his legs out from underneath him, makes the tackle, but that hurts. I mean, you hit those thighs with the shoulder pad and the helmet on a cold night. Yeah, didn't feel good.
Over 130 touches this year for Hodge. Very productive season for him. Pressure coming. Lester delivering into the sideline, incomplete. Only receiver in the vicinity was Aiken Johnson. And again, I think that internal clock causing him some problems. He didn't really need to rush the throw, but didn't really have anyone open downfield either. With 5:32 to go, the clock stops on the incompletion. 3rd and 10 again upcoming for Farmington. Just really no good situations for them. They keep coming up with 3rd and long plays, although their last possession they had a 3rd and 40. So this is a little better than that at least. Twin receivers out to the wide side of the field with the ball in the left hash. Twins left as well. Lester will throw, has a shot down the seam, but he incomplete. He missed a wide open Dawson Keaton there, Wes, and that one, not sure, just came out of his hand funny, but he had a wide open receiver. Keaton continues to get loose. And I'll tell you what, this guy's only a junior. He's their leading receiver coming in with 52 catches for 853 yards and 10 touchdowns. He is a pretty special player, and I'm not sure who's on him, but he continues to get open, and when you're doing that against this Parkview bunch, that's saying something.
I think Kevin Ellis came flying in at the last second.
Okay.
That affected Aiden Lester a bit.
Penny awaiting this punt, and this one kind of a wobbly sideways punt. He'll field it about midfield. Off to the left side, makes a man miss at the 40, runs through a tackle at the 30, down the sideline to the 20 and bounced out there. And a good job by Russell Hodge getting in there, but a huge return for the Patriots. And that will set them up with great field position with 5:12 to go in the first half, Wes. And if they've got designs on the sportsmanship rule, they got a shot at it here.
You just keep coming at you at waves. We talked about their defense, how good their defense. Parkview's defense giving up 12 points per game. They're on target for that, and you think about it, their defense has given up some points in the second half with their backups in a mercy rule situation. So their starting defense has given up even less points than 12 a game. But then their offense, it's just speed, one player after another. How many different guys have we called out tonight making big plays? It's just so difficult to stop.
Bunting will throw here on first down, going for it all into the end zone. It is caught. Did he come down with it in bounds? Incomplete. They're going to say incomplete, but boy, that was a heck of a throw. He was looking for Kyrick Folks, who is allegedly the punter. We haven't seen him do that yet tonight, Wes, but he just about made a heck of a catch right there, and that was very close. I don't know if we'll get a replay on it or not. We do have a replay here in our booth. I don't know if they'll take a look at it down there.
Oh.
You're talking about 3 inches maybe from being in bounds there. What a play by Folks to go up and pull that one down. My goodness. And a pretty darn good throw by Bunting as well. He's now 7 of 9 on the night. They are going to look at it, but I think it's pretty clear he's in the white, and that'll be incomplete.
Well, and a great call from the official. He's right on top of it. That foot right down on the line. Just so close. What a great catch still, though.
Yeah, he had a spin. He had to do a 180 to go up and get that thing. Maybe a little more than that. And he spun all the way around. The ball kind of bobbled, too. So he caught it and then re-caught it. So I think for sure that's safely an incompletion. One more look at it here. And boy, caught it on the back end of the ball too. What a job controlling it.
For a copy of any of the state championship games, go to mnmproductions.net to place your order. We got it right on the field. Replay takes a look at it. That's what it's there for. Make sure. That would be just a shame if he would have caught that ball and had the foot in and they called it incomplete. They would have made sure, so they got it right.
Absolutely. 2nd and 10 now from the 19 for Parkview. And see if they go to the air again. They're going to motion a man to the right side, the tight end. They're going to hand it off the right side. Actually, quarterback to quarterback that time. Quentin Murphy taking the handoff from Bunting, and they are going to pick up some yardage, get down to the 15. So about a 4-yard pickup. It'll bring up 3rd and a long 5, short 6 here for Parkview.
I think that's the first time we've seen that formation tonight with both of them in the backfield.
There's a lot of ways to utilize these weapons. I mean, you can talk about a kid in a candy store. Brad Bolding's got lots of toys to play with around Christmas time.
Yeah, and credit to his OC for devising these plays and using all these guys, getting them all involved.
Yep, Settle set to the left side, and they are going to drop back and toss it out to him. A low throw, flag comes out. All kinds of things happening there. Nothing good, really. And I don't know if this will be against Parkview or not.
That may have been Bunting's worst throw of the night. It may have been his easiest throw.
Yeah.
But he just threw it right into the ground.
And we'll get the call here from Trey Brigham. It was an odd-looking play, and I don't know what the flag is, but it looks like they may back him up here.
Holding on the upper fence.
Okay. Nothing real unique about that.
Ooh.
4th down.
Okay, they're going to decline it and bring up 4th down. So is Parkview going to go for the touchdown and try to extend this lead, or will they field goal? Nope, they're going to leave the offense on the field.
Be a 32-yard field goal. Aguilar has a 40-yard field goal, so he's within range. But well, he's coming out now.
Yep. This will make it 41-7. Not quite in that 35-point window, but we still have 4:28 left. So who knows?
Well, Aguilar already has 8 points tonight. Let's see if he can add to his total.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, 32-yarder from the right hash. Plenty of leg. That was bombed. He crushed it. That is good. 3 more for Parkview with 4:24 remaining. The Patriots extend the lead. Dominant performance by the 2-time defending champs, 365-69. The total yards now, and still negative rushing yards for Farmington, -19.
That's hard to overcome. That is difficult for any team, no matter if you're going to try to throw it a lot. You still need to have some kind of running game. When you aren't able to have the threat of running, what's the defensive line do? Pins their ears back, comes after the quarterback. That's been one of the issues tonight.
Absolutely.
Coming up at the half, we've got David Basil.
That name threw you off?
Yeah, it did.
I got to introduce you to sometime.
Yeah, I'll have to meet this dude. I've heard a lot about it. Christina Munoz back at the Arkansas PBS studios. They're going to introduce you to a Special Olympics cheer team in Siloam Springs that went all the way to the finals, plus a lot more, including the Arkansas PBS Student All-Star Team. So stick around for some fantastic Arkansas storytelling with David Bazell.
They're going to switch return men here, and now they're going to kick it over to Haffelder around the 20-yard line. Up the field he goes. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That is actually Dawson Keaton. I thought they had swapped spots because he ran over, but he sprinted back over to his side of the field, caught the return, and gets it out across the 20-yard line. So that was a little bit of a gimmick there, it looked like, by Farmington, or it looked like the 2 return men were trying to communicate. Not sure exactly what they were looking for.
Gamemanship right there, right?
Yes.
It looked like Parkview was going to switch up, so they were switching up last second. Thought, no, they are going to the right, so they switch back.
Your only safe thing is that you're out of the building before Basil ever gets to the,
Never
to
seen
the radio
anymore.
station. That does help. All right, back to pass again. Lester down the seam, poorly thrown. Receiver takes a lick. Yeah, Keaton gets hit, but again, Lester is just off target right now, and maybe the cold's bother him a little bit. I don't know. He keeps tucking his hands in that pouch in the back to try to warm him up. I can't fault him. We're talking around 30 degrees here, and I mean, it's not a great night for a quarterback to be throwing the football, but my goodness, he has had wide open a few times now, Keaton, and he's just missed him.
I'm going to take up for Lester on this play. Keaton stopped on the route.
Okay.
Keaton stopped. And it's just miscommunication. Maybe he was trying to sit down in the zone, but they were playing man-to-man. He thought he was going to keep coming, so he let him, and he stopped him.
Well, they need to keep targeting him. He's still getting loose, and he's loose again over there on the sideline in front of the Farmington bench, and that's good for 11. That'll get him out to the 39-yard line. He is really their only great threat downfield. And really, when Lester gets time to throw, it looks like they Parkview's going to give him that. That was a great job getting a toe down there. I think that was good in the NFL.
That was nice.
Yeah, that's a heck of a catch. That was a lot closer to the sideline than I thought. But you can see there, Wes, Penny giving a little bit of room, just keeping everything in front, trying to slow them down and not let them get any explosive plays. So a pretty good job there, but a great catch. 1st and 10. Lester outside, again wide open, and that one's just dropped right in the hands of Luke Elsick, and that's got to be caught. It's a long throw. Defender was bearing down, but just dropped out there around the 40-yard line.
I'm with you. I like this Dawson Keaton a lot.
Yeah. He's
only a junior. Some team's going to be knocking on his door in the future. I don't have the numbers. You have the measurables on him?
Yeah, well, he's 5'9", 160. He can bulk up a little bit, but he's productive. 52 for 853 with 10 touchdowns this year.
He can play on Saturdays, get in that slot. He runs great routes. He'll get open.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I try to target him another 15 times before this day's over. Tight formation here. Lester's going to step up. Looks like he wants to run and will. He pick up about 3 or 4 yards. There's a late hit right on the sideline there, but obviously inbounds before he got out, so no flag comes out. That was very close, though. You could tell he was heading to the sideline. We saw this recently. Caleb Williams, the quarterback for the Bears, acting like he's going out of bounds and then kind of fakes people out, and saw the Lions take a lick on him on Thanksgiving Day, West, not taking any chances. And this looked like for sure he had slowed down and was going out of bounds. If I'm Lester, I'm going to get into that white area on the sideline. I'm not taking any undue hits that I don't have to if I can help it. 3rd and long for Farmington. Caught again. And just shy of first down territory that time by Aiken Johnson. And I think he may be marked just about a yard short there, Wes. Got to run that route just a hair deeper.
Or know where the sticks are, catch it instead of maneuvering, spinning around on Amarian Robinson. Just dive forward, get the first down, fall forward.
Well, obviously no decision here for Tommy Tice. You got to go for it. Your team down 41-7, 3:45 to play, and a 4th and very short coming up for Farmington. Cardinals' magical season, 12-1, school record 510 points, and they have come from behind in their playoff games, but boy, they have dug themselves a gigantic hole here. Lester just throwing this one up for grabs, coming back for it. Was it caught? No. What an effort by Dawson Keaton. Couldn't quite get back for it, but what a heck of an effort there by this young man who continues to try to help his team against these long odds with Parkview.
He did a great job of reading that ball in the air. He saw it was going to be underthrown. He stopped his route, came back about 5 yards, made a diving attempt for it, and almost came up with a spectacular play.
So far tonight, 4 catches for 46 yards. He's been targeted 8 times, and I think I would probably try to triple that number before we got out of here this evening. Still 3:37 to go. Parkview came up with a 3-point effort their last possession, and now they will start once again. It's happened a handful of times tonight in Farmington territory. They have not punted yet, and they are in business again. Twins left and right, 4-man front, pressure coming off the edge. The Patriots pick it up, and there goes the other quarterback, Bunting. He can run a little bit too. Gets hit low after about an 11-yard gain. He falls forward to the 36. So Bunting saying, hey, I can run a little bit here. He came in with 11 carries, 0 yards on the season. Does have a touchdown, though, so I guess you got to count in all the sack yardage, too. But he shows he's got a little burst there, Wes.
And Cameron Settles picking up the blitz on the right side of your screen did a great job. They talk about freshman running backs not playing sometimes because they can't pick up the blitz. He showed the Arkansas coaches something right there.
Bunting will hand it off to Settles up the middle. He slips and falls. Turf tackle here at War Memorial. He'll fall forward after a couple-yard gain down to the 34-yard line of Farmington. Clock is running, 3 minutes to go in the first half. Parkview trying to add to a 41-7 lead and get the sportsmanship rule in effect. 3 receivers out to the left side with the ball in the right hash. And we've got a timeout for Parkview. This is their third. Oh, excuse me, Farmington called that one. Thought Brad Bolding had called another one. So Tommy Tice will take a timeout here on a 2nd and long for Parkview. 2:49 to go. They're going to talk it over. And Parkview with a chance to put this one further out of reach. A lot of games going on around the state in 3A tonight. 4A, we've got the 6A and 7A championships tomorrow here. 6A is the early game and should be a good one. A couple of story-rich programs. We talked about, back-to-back-to-backs earlier. Shiloh Christian's in that group. and so is Greenwood. They've got great tradition. They've got two very talented football teams, and they both have a lot of guys who are headed to college as well to play at the next level also.
Looking at some of the scores popping up on our screen, we had Elkins ahead of Mills 23-14. That game going on here in Little Rock, just a couple miles down the road. Elkins been #1 most of the year in 4A. Here's a 3A score for you. Bismarck leading Fordyce 21-6. Fordyce had a great come from behind victory, scoring a touchdown late last week to advance to the semifinals. I've got Salem winning over Mansfield 24-14. And down in Arkadelphia, the Badgers up 21-0 over Southside in the second quarter.
Bunting, running back, set to his left, is Settles. He'll throw it outside, and there goes Elston. Not much room to run. Great swarm tackling by Farmington. They've got a bevy, a plethora of defenders around him, and he'll pick up a couple of yards, but a good job rallying to the ball there for the Cardinals. Listen, it would be easy to tuck tail feathers here and fly away if you're the Cardinals, but man, they are still playing hard, Wes, in a 41-7 game. And I know it's a championship, so maybe it's a little bit easier than it would be on a regular Friday night, but it's still, I mean, pretty disheartening, and I'm impressed with the way that they continue to fight here tonight.
Well, they want to get a stop. That's something that they haven't done so far tonight. Every Parkview drive's ended with a touchdown or a field goal. We haven't seen Parkview punt. I guess they did get a stop on a turnover. I should correct myself.
That's right.
But no, they have that pride. They want to get a stop right here.
Here goes Bunting to the air, down the seam. Good coverage on the back end. Knocked away by the Cardinals defense, and that was a great job by Bouillon. We've seen him make a couple of plays tonight, Wes. The junior knocking that one down, and he was tied tight to that receiver and brings up a 4th and 5 rather, for the Patriots with 1:57 to go, and they are going to punt for the first time tonight. I really did not think we were ever going to see Kyrick Folks. We saw him make nearly a circus catch in the end zone. Now he'll try to pin Farmington back deep, and I guess maybe Coach Bolding's thinking, let's pin him and try to get the ball back one last time with great field position. This one will land around the 7, takes a Patriots bounce inside the 5, down to the 4, the 3. They're trying to wave it a little further, but it will be marked at the 3-yard line. So very effective punt there by Folks, the junior, with a good job, and now that defense can come back out and get after Aiden Lester. Boy, for Farmington, it's 1st and 97. I mean, you got a long way to go here in 1:44. You do have 2 timeouts left, but you really need a big drive here to try to stem the tide here a little bit.
I was honestly surprised. I did not think they were going to punt that ball. I thought they'd go for it on 4th and 5, but it's a smart play. Pin them back, make them go 97 yards to score a touchdown. Get your live action photos from the game at myarpbs.org/photos. Grab free downloads, have prints made. These are great championship keepsakes.
Lester down the left sideline, overshot his receiver, and just out of reach. And boy, worst thing you could do here is throw 3 times and go 3 and out, but it'll be 2nd and 10 upcoming, and Farmington's still trying to find something here offensively.
Well, the incomplete pass stops the clock. Parkview's got 1 timeout left, so if there's another incomplete pass, or if they run it, they can call it timeout. And maybe Farmington said, hey, we're going to take 1 shot. If they don't get it, they may run the ball here, make Parkview use their last time out, run it, and then try to get into the locker room.
There has been not much happening in the run game for the Cardinals tonight. Minus 16 rush yards. Obviously, a lot of that is sack yardage, but they are going to run it this time, and not much room to run there. Good job of that Parkview defense racing up and laying the wood, and that was very impressive. Chris Edwards, first time we've called his name tonight, Wes, the linebacker, coming up. He has got 27 tackles coming into the game. He's a junior, and he did a nice job responding there. So now 3rd and long, and the Patriots going to take their last time out here?
No, they had a personal foul penalty, and I think it was on Amarian Robinson. You see him coming out of the game. They did not like what happened at the end of that play, and a flag came out, and they're pulling him out of the game right now.
Well, that's a missed opportunity for Parkview, because you would have had 3rd and long if that's the case.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, on Parkview, 15-yard penalty. That results in a 1st down.
And I do want to correct myself. That was number 3, Jace White, not number 2, Amarian Robinson. Here's a look at the replay, top right of your screen. A little pushing and shoving, and Final guy. You know, it's usually the second guy that gets caught. That's exactly got caught. Referee was trying to tell him, hey, stop it, hold it off, and Jace kind of pushed his hand off of it.
It was something he said.
Yep.
Yeah, because they had already separated the two players, and he said something extra, and the official didn't like it, and out goes the flag.
Timeout. Parkview.
Not a smart play. This will be the final Parkview timeout of the half now with 1:27 to go. And so 41-7, and it'll be Cardinals continuing the drive now on a 1st and 10 after that personal foul called on Jace White. And again, don't know what he said, but obviously the official didn't like it.
I wonder if it was just for touching an official. You know, the official kind of had his hand out like, wait on, hold on, and he kind of just
it
pushed
looked to me
his
like he was
hand
still
off.
jawing, I
Maybe
think,
so.
was the biggest thing. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know. It's all conjecture, Wes, but I do know it's 15 yards.
Yeah, penalties on him. Arkansas PBS is the home for high school sports. If you love seeing these high school sports championship games live and also on demand, please consider making a gift to Arkansas PBS today. 41-7. Pretty much all Parkview. They had the turnover, and Farmington quickly turned that interception into points. I think that was a 2-play drive. Made it 17-7, but since then, Parkview's rattled off 24 straight points to lead at 41-7 with a minute and a half to go.
So Farmington gets a break, 1:30 left. Tommy Tice and the Cardinals with 2 timeouts remaining. And we'll see what they dial up here. Again, they've done a good job of getting, some guys loose. We saw Aiken Johnson make a play a little bit ago. Dawson Keaton's been getting open all night. So really no reason to think that they can't get something happening here in this passing game. Running back set to the right side is Russell Hodge. They will throw on 1st down. Lester with time again. Over the middle, picked off, intercepted, and there goes Amarian Robinson down the left sideline, and he will take it to the house. Touchdown, Parkview, and the lead extended further. That was the worst case scenario for Farmington, and what a play. We haven't called Amarian's name all night, except tried to attribute a personal foul that wasn't his earlier, but what a play by the star, Wes, and big time to make it now and extend the lead, and now you're going to get the sportsmanship rule. We do have a touchdown and maybe a dead ball foul.
Let's show everybody this play from the wide angle. The corners, not on this angle because you can't tell. The DB switch receivers. They run a little scissor route, and Amarian Robinson came off of his receiver, jumped over to the next receiver, and picked it off. It was just a great heads-up play and great communication from the Parkview DBs, because when those 2 receivers cross, they're trying to confuse Parkview, but instead it's just like when you set a screen in basketball. Well, they just switch men while they're running the route, and Amarian goes to the guy running to the inside, undercuts it, picks it off, takes it back to the house.
Mishandled snap there on the extra point attempt, and so it will stay 47-7, so they'll have to settle for a 40-point margin. But yes, brilliant play there by Amarian Robinson, and again, probably be doing that for the Sooners next season. 1:21 remaining and a 40-point lead for the 2-time defending state champions, and they are on their way. But yeah, they've made a couple mistakes, some penalties, and that mishandled snap there. But again, nothing that has put this game in doubt or jeopardy early on. And again, it's still a whole half to go.
Well, you very rarely see a high school team play perfectly. I mean, let's face it, they're high school athletes. They're going to make mistakes. Parkview's made a couple, but that's about it.
Amarian's the holder, too. He was not expecting that snap. He was still talking to his kicker, and the ball came out, and so there was a miscommunication there. He was not anticipating that. So he made his play. They don't get the extra point, but it'll be okay. 47-7. They're still fine with 1:21 left. And again, Farmington still 2 timeouts. We'll see how aggressive Tommy Tice decides to be here. But man, what a tough day for Farmington. You come all the way to the Capital City state championship game. You pull one magical game out last week to come back and beat Lakeside 59-55, and then you come out here and get roughed up in the first half by Parkview. Here comes the kickoff. This one will be returnable from about the 8-yard line, and Parkview special teams there again, and you almost can anticipate what is coming, and you feel for Dustin Haffelder. You got to run into that wall of guys coming down, and I mean, they are just so quick to get down there. There's just nowhere to go for the return man for Farmington.
Chris Edwards, again, that time on special teams making the play, not at his linebacker spot, but he makes a good special teams play. There were 3 Parkview players that just kind of met him at the same time and sandwiched him.
What do you do if you're Tommy Tice here, Wes? I mean, your team is already in big trouble, You just wonder maybe how aggressive they'll decide to be. Aiden Lester on the day, 10 of 25, 105 with a couple of interceptions and a touchdown. Handoff right side, nothing doing. They gave it to Elsick, and he had nowhere to go.
Chris Edwards again, back-to-back tackles.
How about that? 2nd and 10 upcoming. No, actually, they're going to say a loss of 1, so make it 2nd and 11. So a tackle for loss for Edwards and that Parkview defense. That is now minus 16, make it minus 17 yards rushing for Farmington in this first half. You can't ask for much more dominance than what you're getting from this Parkview defense.
Defensively, I think they've had really one bad play. That was on the touchdown. Farmington did a good job of slipping the back out, and the safety kind of bit on a medium route, a little hesitation move. The receiver kept going down the field and was wide open at the goal line for the touchdown. Really trying to think of negative plays, and that's about it for the Parkview defense. Offensively, I mean, they've been rolling. Put up 40 points on the board offensively, had the defensive interception, but the offense has been clicking. It's just, look, Parkview's been ranked #1 all season in 5A. Many people thought that they were going to roll to a 3rd straight state championship because of this senior class. These seniors were playing as sophomores. A lot of them were playing as sophomores when they won their first state title. Then last year as juniors, most of them were out there playing, and they were back. Then they lost some key seniors. They lost some linemen, some size, but they reloaded, and they have been dominant all year.
Hand up the middle. Farmington obviously just trying to get to the half, it looks like, and nowhere to go for Russell Hodge. That defensive front, just remarkable work so far tonight for Parkview. Haven't called Nigel Farsi's name yet. He's a junior doing a great job as part of that defensive front. Over there on the edge, Micah Johnson. And we have talked a lot about Jeremy Edwards. I mean, he's been making plays all over the place, but that defensive front has just been nasty all night, and everything has been difficult. I missed one down there. How about Case and Kane, senior defensive lineman, and that's going to be it. The half is in the books, and Parkview is on its way to a three-peat. 47-7. We've got one half of football to go. We're going to head down to the sideline, check in with Sierra Clark, who's trying to find Coach Bolding. There we go. Sierra.
I don't think she has her mic on. Nope.
I don't think we can. You can't hear her.
Her mic may be frozen. I mean, it is
Maybe.
like 30 degrees down there.
Yeah, exactly like it.
I know firsthand batteries die quickly in the cold.
All right, well, we'll try again. We can get an update from what Coach Bolding tells her, I guess, when we come back from the break. So, all right, it is halftime here in the 5A state championship game. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Everybody, David Basil here. It's halftime at War Memorial. That means we are back here at Arkansas PBS Studios to share with you a little bit of what we've been working on. In a few minutes, Christina Munoz will introduce you to some all-stars both on the field and in the classroom. We're going to check in on a hot spot in Arkansas football, and we're going to learn a little bit about some Arkansas sports history. But first, starting from scratch can be a struggle, but teamwork makes the dream work. Solon Springs began this year with their first practice ever for their Special Olympics Unified Cheer Team and took that collaboration all the way to the state finals. Take a look.
Being a cheerleader requires you to how to raise your voice and be as loud as you want.
first year is always the most important year. You know, it's good. You got to get everybody's feet wet.
Okay, let's go to our jumps for a minute. Okay, go to jump.
I always want to be on Dancing with the Stars, so
I really want to get some unified teams going in our community because cheer has always been kind of a big thing in Siloam Springs.
Well, a unified team is Special Olympic partners and peer partners, and they work together to build the routine and compete.
Being in base for a cheer for the shoulder sit, yeah, it's like I'm base and like someone climbing on my rooftop ladder and someone's on my roof. It's really cool though.
So there's dance, there's tumbling, there's the cheering aspect, there's the stunting. I feel like our cheerleaders sometimes work the hardest because there are so many components to it and they all have to be synchronized and they all have to work together and put out a flawless routine.
do you like the practices? You like how challenging they can be? You think it could be the lifting or the tumbling? What do you think? Both. Tell them. Both.
And from the first practice to state, every single one of them just took ownership of it, and it was like how sports bring people together. That's exactly what cheer has done in our school. You know, the kids were so nervous because they had never competed before like that. I mean, I knew that they were good and I knew that they had a good routine, but I just didn't know what the scoring would be like.
But there wasn't anything that we were expecting, getting out in front of everyone and doing our routine and what we practiced.
We didn't really know what to expect going in, and they rocked it.
We won the state competition in Benton, Arkansas, and took home the gold.
They had the skills, but they also had the drive to be successful, and they all worked together as a team.
And it was like our first year, and so like we proved to a bunch of people that you can do something in a short amount of time.
This team, this high school team, had the overall highest score out of the entire competition, and I think that's what shocked us all the most. And watching them win together was incredible. And now it's like, okay, we got to win again. Like we can't stop now. Now we got to defend it.
1, 2, 3, 4, and here we go!
It's hard to win if you don't practice, and chance of winning are low. That's why we practice. Otherwise, you will be at the competition under-prepared.
What I feel like makes practice the most important is that's where the relationships are built, and that's where the trust is built.
It's always important to hang out with the peers that I'm working with. And like Hallie, she's always one of my friends I always hang out with. She's one of my friends, and I always love her.
Oh, I love you too.
The relationships that we made outweigh any medal that they'll ever win. I mean, don't get me wrong, those gold medals are precious, but I think just the idea of inclusion in the team brought all these kids together from different backgrounds, from different grades. They are so welcoming, they are so loving, and it's just incredible to watch how they have been impacted by this experience. And to see those friendships and to see that joy on their face, that's what makes it worth it.
Siloam Springs will be hosting their own Special Olympics cheer competition on February 27th, 2025. We wish all the teams the best of luck. Now, let's turn to the student athlete with the emphasis on the student part. Christina, what do you got for us?
Thanks, David. We reached out to schools all over the state looking for athletes who not only excel on the field, but in the classroom too. Here's the Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars class of 2024. We're going to start with our 8-man honoree, Hunter May. Hunter is a senior linebacker and tight end for the Midland High School Mustangs. He has a 3.7 grade point average. Following high school, he plans to go into the Army. Out of 2A, let's meet Jaron Thomas. Jaron is a senior quarterback for the Conway Christian High School Eagles. He maintains a 3.2 grade point average, and following high school, he plans to attend college. Moving on to 3A, here's David McCamey with the Charleston Tigers. This senior offensive and defensive lineman boasts a 3.4 GPA. After high school, he wants to attend college and teach and coach. Our 4A All-Star this year is Creed Vega. Creed is a junior quarterback, running back, and linebacker for the Dardanelle Sand Lizards. He has a 4.0 grade point average. Following high school, Creed plans to play college football and coach football as well. Coming around to 5A, we have Maddox Hampton of the Nettleton High School Raiders. Maddox is a senior quarterback and has a 3.85 grade point average. After high school, he plans to attend college at UA Rich Mountain to play baseball. The 6A representative this season is Magnus Golden. This senior defensive end and fullback for the Russellville High School Cyclones maintains a 3.8 grade point average. Magnus plans to go to college and play football while earning a degree in engineering. And finally, we wrap up with our 7A All-Star, Rhett Tidwell. Rhett is the senior linebacker for the Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. He has a 3.8 grade point average. After high school, he plans to attend college and major in business. Congratulations to all of this year's honorees. Way to go. You know, we may see some of these faces again in April here on Arkansas PBS for Quiz Bowl. Now, if you haven't seen Quiz Bowl, you'll want to make a note to watch this year. Some of the smartest high school students in the state meet up right here in this studio and square off, not only for bragging rights, but for some pretty big checks too. And it is all live right here on Arkansas PBS. Now let's throw it back to Baz for a look at another hot spot for Arkansas football.
Thanks, Christina. You know, they say big things come in small packages. And in the town of Searcy, there is one school proving that to be even more true. The Harding Bisons, a small school breaking NCAA records and making national headlines with their very unique brand of bison ball.
You know, there's some things that I think, you know, should be told. We've got a special group, and but it's hard to win. You know what? The path certainly seems easier once you've been there. I can tell you that.
You know, we got a fantastic coaching staff here. You know, and everybody in America talks about culture and brotherhood and family. It's something that we refine on a daily basis.
I think the success came from the guys buying into the culture, and that in turn reflected into the way we played, because at the end of the day, it's about the guys out there in the uniform.
That's the biggest game I've played in my life. I've never played for something that important. You know, we're playing for more than just us. We're playing for the Searcy community. They're all pulling for us, they're rooting for us, and we want to make them proud.
Wishbone was invented by, it was Emory Ballard at Texas A&M, and taking those wishbone backs and putting them up there in slots is what the difference is between wishbone and flexbone, where you motion them and can put them in routes and stuff.
The flexbone is 11 guys committed to executing their specific detail every single play. If one guy is off, then the play won't work. And so it's really a reflection of how everybody has to do their job every single play.
And, you know, there's a lot of things about this offense that make it a home run success for us. But probably the biggest thing, you know, it is a perfect fit for who we want to be in our culture. When Coach Huck made this decision, you know, he sought out the best, and Coach Wheaton is widely recognized as one of the best, if not the best, option mind in the country.
Coach Huck reached out to me in 2010, and he said, "Hey, we want to bring you in and install the offense, and we think it would fit our kids." And you know, he was right.
A couple of months later, he reached out and said, after watching your practice and being around your young men and tasting that culture, I'd love to come coach with you guys. Wow, it's amazing. The Godfather, wants to come be with us. But at the time, we didn't have a spot available. We didn't have a salary available. And Coach Wheaton said, it's okay. I'll come work for free.
He definitely is a big deal, but you wouldn't know it just talking to him. One thing I really appreciate about Coach Wheaton is just the way he holds us accountable. If you have something you need to get better at, he will tell you straight up, and he won't sugarcoat it, but he won't do it in a way that's demeaning either. And that makes you want to play harder for him because he expects a lot of you. But it's a good thing. It's about much more than just being a football player here.
We always talk about unity. We only talk about stuff that unites us. We don't talk about stuff that divides us. We don't want it in the locker room. We don't want it out here on the practice field. When you have guys that buy into that, it's special.
The success that we have received is a product of young men loving one another, being selfless, and working like crazy to honor God.
No kids are more deserving than our kids. I'm very excited for this program, mainly because, people know who we are now.
Good things are definitely brewing in Searcy. Now let's take a look at a bit of Arkansas sports history. In the early 1900s, the University of Arkansas athletic program was still finding its identity. That all changed when a young coach named Hugo Bezdek arrived on campus, bringing with him a fierce competitive spirit that would transform Arkansas sports forever. Check out this story of how one man's passionate outburst gave birth to the legendary Arkansas Razorbacks.
The University of Arkansas hasn't always been the Razorbacks. Hugo Bezdek, his association with what would change our mascot.
That one significant moment will always be part of the history of the university. Hugo Bezdek, he immigrated from Bohemia. He and his parents moved to Pennsylvania and then later to Chicago, where he literally fell in love with American sports.
Had been mentored by his coach Amos Alonzo Stagg at the University of Chicago.
Looking for something to do in American sports really filled that void in his life.
Hugo Bezdek was selected really as the first paid coach, full-time coach here at the University of Arkansas. And
he arrived in 1908, so he became the coach, which means he coached whatever they were playing. They were the Cardinals, and the Cardinals, not the birds, but the color. In those days, it was football in the fall and baseball in the spring. He was equally prepared to coach both, had successful careers in both sports. It's very likely that his baseball players were more fundamentally sound than his football players because, baseball was kind of the town sport in those days. He did produce great baseball teams.
There was a lot of success heralded on the football field, obviously. His teams were light, quick, and furious. They were swarming. It was a very disciplined team, and their style of play was very successful with an undefeated season in 1909 and really helped define a style of football that wasn't seen predominantly around the country at that time.
I think his wins and losses and his accomplishments as a coach are all secondary to the fact that he was in the right place at the right time to form a new image for the state.
That in 1909, when the University of Arkansas traveled to Memphis via train to play the mythical Championship of the South, and Coach Bezdek led Arkansas to a shutout victory, and they returned to the train station and the train depot on Dixon Street.
So when they arrived, everyone knew what the score was, and old Hugo stepped down off the train and
spoke to the crowd. He proclaimed that his team played like a wild band of Razorbacks.
Everybody thought, well, that's better than being a Cardinal.
And then in 1910, the University of Arkansas student body officially voted to change the name from Cardinals to Razorbacks.
It's not true that Bezdek invented the name. They had been called the Razorbacks prior to that.
But it certainly wasn't embraced.
And so the name was more derogatory. Arkansans were looked upon by their opponents as a bunch of rural, hillbilly, non-competitive guys.
But I think what people quickly realized in this state is the Razorback represented the attributes of Arkansans. Is fierce, is tireless, and is very passionate. I think they really identify with the attributes of a Razorback, of the Hogs, and having to work harder and having that success. So I think when you look at an animal and you look at a mascot that represents the spirit of Arkansas, I think the Razorback is a perfect fit.
He was the first person to give that name significance. I think that's a very important part of his legacy. Setting us up for this competitive nature that goes far beyond what we might expect.
And not just in athletics, that stems across the academic institution, campus community. Hugo Bezdek's perhaps biggest contribution to the University of Arkansas was the adoption of the Razorbacks and a whole sense of pride for this state and for this university.
You know, Christina, from that memorable day in 1909, the Razorback has stood as a symbol of Arkansas pride and determination.
Absolutely. You know, that is one of the things I love about sports on Arkansas PBS. We get our dose of sports, of course, but we learn along the way. That is a great history lesson.
Right. And the Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars, that is one list you want to be on. Well, that's it for us on the halftime show.
Now let's get you back to War Memorial Stadium for the second half, right here on your home for the high school football state finals, Arkansas PBS.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people. Here we go, the
All right, welcome back. Wrapping up halftime here at War Memorial Stadium, 47-7. Patriots leading it, and Sierra Clark down on the sideline with Patriots head coach Brad Bolding.
Coach Bolding, your defense has played lights out, holding the Farmington Cardinals to negative rushing yards. What's been the key to your defense's productivity?
I just think that they're very competitive kids, and they just they come out and they play hard every play, and they play for each other. And I think that's the big thing, is they don't want to let each other down, and so they just play really hard. They're a very, very competitive group, one of the most competitive groups I've ever had.
And you've used two quarterbacks, Quentin Murphy and Emmanuel Bunting, throughout this game. What's your plan on utilizing both players for the rest of this matchup?
I will continue to use them, both of them, and they're both outstanding players. And we'll work by Murphy at tailback some too. He's one of those guys who just try to move him around and get him the ball.
All right, thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Sierra. And again, applaud her for her efforts there in the first half. Not easy. Let's take a look back at how we got to this point. Parkview rolling west in the first half, and I mean, really came out quick strike and set the tone early on. And here's the big pass from Emmanuel Bunting, and into the end zone goes Elston, and that again just kind of set the tone early on here. 67
yards, just like that. They come right back with Jermaine Conway, 16-yard pass from Bunting. It was 14-0. Then one of the few mistakes for Parkview, an interception, and then here comes Farmington. Cameron Miller, 35-yard pass from Aiden Lester. It was 17-7, but it did not take Parkview long to come back. Cameron Saddles, 80 yards for the score, and just like that, they answer. It's 24-7 Parkview. Dak Crosby got on the board with a couple of runs. That one from 3 yards out. Then he had a 27-yard touchdown run to the right corner of the end zone. Solomon Aguilar had a field goal, and then it all was capped off right here. Amarian Robinson, 37-yard interception return, a pick six, 47-7 at the half.
And that's how you got there. And 2:18 still left here in the halftime break, and games going on all over the state. Total numbers in the first half, 382 for Parkview in total offense, 90 yards for Farmington, 141 through the air for the Patriots, 105 for the Cardinals. And if you did the math there quickly, that means that there are negative rushing yards, 15 of them for the Cardinals, 241 on the ground for Parkview. Just remarkable dominance in that first half. Now, they did hurt themselves with some penalties, had 7 for 88 in the first half, but that defense getting after quarterback Aiden Lester, 3 sacks in the first half. Time possession pretty even, but Parkview very much a quick strike offense, and we saw that in that first half. On third down, Parkview just 1 of 5. The problem for Farmington is they couldn't get into third down often enough, Wes. Average yards per completion, 17.6, just way too many. And in the red zone, Parkview a perfect 4 for 4 so far. Points off turnovers, actually, pretty close there. So, just a couple of turnovers in the game so far, a couple of mistakes. You had Lester with a couple of interceptions, and you had the one mistake, for Parkview in the first half. But need to clean up the penalties. But other than that, it was just about a perfect first half, or perfect enough for Parkview in the first 2 quarters.
I got to wonder how much we'll see some of these stars. He was just talking about playing Murphy and playing Bunting at the same time, and letting Cameron run the ball a little bit as a tailback. I just wonder with this 47-7 score how much we'll see of some of these stars. Cameron Settles, Amorian Robinson. It is their last game. So, look, I have zero problem if they're back out there playing in the third quarter, because they'll never play another high school game again, right? The next time we'll see them in a football uniform, they'll be playing in college. And for some of these other guys, this is it. They're not playing college football. This is their last game, period. So it's kind of a fine line for a coach. You want to reward those players and not necessarily have to take them out in their last game ever.
Right.
But there comes a point, too, where you want to get some other guys some experience, too. We've talked about some sophomores, some juniors on this team who will have to step up and replace these guys next year, and you'd love to give them some experience in a state championship game.
Yeah, you got guys going to Kansas State, Arkansas, Oklahoma. I mean, even Northwest Missouri State for Jermaine Conway. But, a lot of these guys will never play college football. So to get on the field and be able to make a play during a state championship game is going to be the pinnacle of their careers. You know what I mean? Especially if you're a senior and you haven't played a lot because you're behind all this Division I talent. I mean, what a great opportunity to get in the game and have a great memory for you to take with you going forward.
I'm looking at some of the guys getting ready on the kickoff team. And I see Monterio Elston. He's still out there on the kick coverage team. Aguilar getting ready to kick off. So there's Jermaine Penny out there. So you're going to still have some of your main guys, Kevin Ellis. So they're going to get an opportunity to play here in the second half, at least in the third quarter.
Well, and what kind of performance will you see out of Farmington in the second half? That's what I'm curious to see. How much fight can they put up here in the second half? Can they get on the board again? Can they keep the ball and sustain some drives here maybe in the second half? We'll see.
Well, there's the legend, Tommy Tice. That's probably the answer to your question. They're going to play for him. I mean, there's a reason why he's won the second most games in Arkansas high school football history. He's a great coach. He's going to keep their attention, and they're going to give their full effort in the second half.
So we're just about to get underway. We are under sportsmanship rules here in the second half. It's 47-7, so we will have a running clock, which pretty lengthy first half will not be a very lengthy second half, or at least we wouldn't expect that to be the case. Kickoff is away, kind of a sidewinder to land around the 25-yard line. Bobbled and then picked up at the 15. Patriots are there, and they will bring the returner down around the 24-yard line. And a good job getting down there for Chris Edwards. How many times have we called his name tonight, Wes? He's just been phenomenal.
Unfortunately, a Farmington player down on the field. There's your sportsmanship rule, Dustin.
Yep, 35 points. Whenever they lead by 35 in the second half, we are there. Clock will stop for scores, timeouts, and first downs. And it's in effect for the rest of the game. So here we are. And so other than, I guess we didn't mention, it will stop for injuries also, which is unfortunately what we're dealing with right now. And hopefully that Cardinals player is doing okay down there, or will be okay in a moment. But looks like he's moving around okay, but not feeling very good right now, and got the staff attending to him as we speak.
Got 4 other games going on right now across Arkansas. The semifinals in 4A and 3A. In 4A, down the road in Mills, Elkins leads in the third quarter, 23-14. It was a 21-14 game, and Elkins got a safety to increase their lead by 9. In Arkadelphia, the Badgers hosting Southside, and they lead at 21-0 in the third quarter. So if things were to hold next Saturday afternoon, it'll be Arkadelphia and Elkins. And then in 3A, we've got Salem and Mansfield. Salem up 24-20. Good game there in Mansfield. And Bismarck hosting Fordyce. Bismarck with the lead, 21-6. Ooh, that thing, look at that head hit the turf. I hate to see that. That was, and bounced hard. You know how hard that turf is right now, how cold it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, tough one for Haffelder, who took a big shot there. They're going to keep tending to him, and we're going to take a timeout. 11:42, just underway here in the second half. We will take a break. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
The Black Death, murdered princes, the madness of King George, and witch hunts.
The game, Mrs. Hudson, is on. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play murder.
I want you to help me solve a murder.
I'm a writer, not a detective.
It's a mystery, like one of your books.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Sports is so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and that makes it available for not just the fans in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, but fans around the entire state. I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
And tended the training staff, and still tending to, unfortunately, a situation with Dustin Haffelder, who's the returner for Farmington. He's had a number of returns tonight. Not much room to run for him, unfortunately, but that was the worst of it. Took a big shot and looked like his head hit the turf pretty hard, and hopefully he's going to be okay, but don't expect to see him back out there anytime soon. There's a run up the middle for Lester. 1,000-yard rusher this season, Wes. You mentioned it earlier, just hasn't been able to get anything going in the run game, and really they haven't as a team either. Negative yards rushing at this point for Farmington, and we are into the third quarter. So that Parkview defense, again, hanging their hat on just absolute dominance up front.
Nigel Farsi, offensive lineman, playing on the defensive line, went in and bottled all that up.
Yeah, there he is in that four-man front. Parkview bringing pressure off the edge. Little run blitz, and nice job coming all the way around to make the play. They just could not account for him. And what a play getting in there. Coming off the edge. Was that? Let's see.
Well, I think it was Liddell, another offensive lineman that was in there playing a little defense this time. And he was there at that defensive tackle spot.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get past him.
I think Corey Smith came off the edge as well. So, yeah, just a lot of things happening defensively. So we got a 3rd and long situation coming up here. 3rd down and 8 to go. Just a minute and a half into the third quarter. 47-7 Parkview. It'll be a throw here for Lester. Has time and then doesn't have time anymore. Down he goes. Micah Johnson will drop him for the sack. And that is the 4th of the night for Parkview. Dominating up front. And anytime he holds the ball, I'll tell you what, he's been caught a couple of times, Wes, looking at the rush. And again, just a junior. That's something he can work through in the offseason, some 7-on-7. And admittedly, it's completely understandable against this Parkview front. He's just not had a very good experience here tonight. So it'll be punt time again for Farmington. And again, how many times have we seen this, them backed up against their own end zone to punt it away? There's a line drive punt. It will be returnable from the 48. Fumbled and then recovered immediately. What hands there by Penny. Got fortunate that ball bounced right back up to him. And for, I don't know, the 4th or 5th time tonight, it will be Parkview starting a drive in Farmington territory.
Hayden Bentley getting down there for Farmington and making the tackle to make sure Penny didn't scramble up the middle and get some big yardage.
Yeah, losing the game, and they've lost the field position battle all night as well.
Well, it's tough when you go 3 and out. How many times have they gone 3 and out tonight?
Yeah.
And you're already deep in your own territory. You got a dangerous punt returner in Penny, and Penny's been able to give them some good field position. Yeah, once again, starting at the Farmington 42.
Penny will go out there with the offense, and it will be the runner at quarterback, Quentin Murphy. I'll be curious to see if Brad Bolding lets him throw a little bit here tonight.
How about that backfield? Monterio Elston, Saddles, Murphy.
Jace White goes in motion. They got it to him, then he fumbled it. He covers it back at the 44-yard line, so that did not go well on the play to Jace White. Couldn't hold on to it.
Did he ever have it? Or did they snap it and he missed it? It was
just sort of bounced off his chest like he repelled it, like two magnets that are opposing one another. Yeah, that ball just went out there. He did a good job hustling after that one, though, to get it
They hit
covered
him
up.
in the chest. It looked like, honestly, in the slow motion replay, it was a false start. The offensive line was moving. The left tackle was moving. The left guard was moving, but the center hadn't snapped the ball. And I think that may have caught him off guard when, everybody's moving, but the ball's not coming. What's going on? Then, bam, there it is.
Yeah, 2nd and a dozen now for Parkview. They'll bring a man in motion again. It'll be Elston. They're going to hand it off to Settles left side. Spins out of a tackle. He'll get down inside the 40-yard line or right at the 40-yard line. So that'll get it back to a 3rd and 8 or so for Parkview. They may mark it at 3rd and 9. 3-yard gain there on 2nd down. So with the clock running, Parkview trying to pick up a 1st down here on a 3rd and long.
Peyton Bailey coming up from the secondary, making the tackle. Farmington was swarming to the ball that time.
Bunting and this offense in a looks like a throwing situation. We'll see if they try to air it out or not. Tick under 8 minutes to go, and he will throw it outside. Caught at the 38-yard line. Slipping a tackle. Elston spins around at the 35, inside the 30, and out of bounds he goes. 1st down, Patriots. That was all Monterio Elston and money earning that one. Running through 1 tackle, 2 tackles from the same guy, and then he runs through a couple of other guys into the sideline, and that will be 1st down, Patriots. Not an easy guy to bring down.
He did not have the 1st down until he spins out of that tackle. Then breaking those 2 tackles, he goes forward inside the 30, picks up the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 27. Clock continues to run in this 47-7 game. They're going to go to Settles. He's going to cut it up the middle, and there he goes, off to the races, cuts it to the outside, and he will go into the end zone, a stroll for a man who is likely on his way to an MVP performance tonight. He's got an interception, couple of touchdowns, including an 80-yarder, and the lead extended for Parkview with 7:05 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
And I just realized that was 4th and 8. I saw the yardsticks he got across. That was the beginning of the down marker.
Yep.
That was 4th and 8 because of the fumble. They had a long way to go, the misplay, and they give it to Cam Settles, run it up the middle, and Settles, man, that was another huge hole, but then the cut right there to get to the outside, just turns around the defensive back and strolls into the end zone.
Well, there you go. Very impressive, and a good job by that offensive line, and again, another feather in the cap for a guy that I think is on his way to the MVP. 8 carries now, 156, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. I don't know how you can deny him at this point. Extra points good. It's 54-7 with 7:05 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
That may be the 2nd touchdown he scored without being touched.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, the other one was up the gut. Great blocking, and he went right to the house for 80. So on the change of possession, the clock will stop momentarily. There's some other scores. 21-12, Bismarck and Fordyce. That's in the 3rd quarter.
Fordyce has scored to make it a little bit closer.
Salem over Mansfield, 32-20.
Salem is added to their lead.
And that's all you get.
Saw Arkadelphia was up 21-0 a little bit earlier. I'll check Fearless Friday. They're now up 28-0.
How about that?
Arkadelphia a touchdown away from the sportsmanship rule.
Wow. Impressive.
And Elkins still 23-14 over Mills.
And that's 3rd quarter still, or do you know?
Still 3rd quarter.
Okay. Yeah, great season for Mills. The resurgence for that program.
Undefeated. Well, that's 2 undefeated teams, Elkins and Mills.
Yeah, Elkins been around though, right? I mean, they've been
number 1
pretty
much all year. Had a really good team last year. Came up a little bit short.
So 54-7 now. Parkview will kick it off. It is caught by the up back at the 30-yard line. He runs into a wall around the 34, 35, and he's dropped down at the 37-yard line. So that will be where Farmington starts this drive. Clock will run as they bring their offense back out on the field. Again, sportsmanship rule in effect. 54-7, and now they're going to stop it, and I don't know why. We got an official timeout.
Player down for Parkview.
Okay. Had a couple of players go down, unfortunately. Really tough conditions tonight. It's right around freezing or maybe a little below, and that doesn't look good. And now he rolls over on his own. Maybe okay there. Okay. Yeah, I think that's Kingston Metcalf, Wes, the sophomore defensive lineman, who's down right now. But 6:51 to play, and not a very competitive game right now. We'll take a break. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Collectors, pickers, antiquers, and thrifters of the natural state. What's your latest or potentially greatest discovery? Hi, I'm Kate Askew, books, photography, and paper goods evaluator for Arkansas Treasures. See what your find is worth at the Arkansas Treasures Season 2 Evaluation and Taping event. Learn how you can donate to get your tickets now at myarpbs.org/Arkansas Treasures.
First responders put their lives on the line for us every single day. And in uncertain times, we lean on these heroes to help restore stability. As a key component of a strong community, you will find stability at the core of Centennial Bank. Here, we believe in supporting those that help provide a safe and secure community for us to thrive in. Your financial safety and security should not be overlooked. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Thanks to visiting UAMS Health, I'm able to do things physically that I never thought I'd be able to do again.
Snowman cake, present and correct.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
We have much to be grateful for.
Just what I wanted for Christmas.
We had hoped for the opportunity to dazzle.
Dazzle?
Good news indeed.
I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
I remember stepping outside into the staircase and doing vocal scales, warming up my voice. The opportunity that was there, not only to win Miss America, but to win a $10,000 scholarship. As they peeled off the runner-ups, they left and the chair was taken away, and I was sitting there with Miss District of Columbia, my first runner-up, and there we sat. And so many people have said, what was it like when you heard your name called out? And it was like the flashback of all that many years of training and working and preparation and how proud I was to be representing Arkansas. I tear up when I say this. But it was just the greatest moment for my family and for my people. My people were Arkansas.
I celebrated my 5th birthday, and it was a few weeks after that the soldiers came. We saw 2 soldiers marching up our driveway, and literally at gunpoint, we were ordered out of our home.
And so you end up in a place called
Rohr, R-O-H-W-E-R, Arkansas, locked up. And the amazing thing is, thousands of young Japanese American men and women went from behind those barbed wire fences, leaving their family in imprisonment to fight for this country. Those that perished on those bloody battlefields and had their coffins covered with the American flag, those flags were brought back to their wives or their parents still behind American barbed wire fences. Those incredible, crazy young men who fought and died for this country, they were the greatest generation. They made my America possible.
And welcome back here to War Memorial Stadium. You see Jaden Jefferson, the sophomore defensive back for Parkview, walking off under his own power. They brought the cart out, but he was able to walk out with a little bit of assistance there. Took a big shot, ran into one of his teammates, and then looked like he hit his head very hard on the turf, rather, after running into Ja'Cory Smith, who is a a bit of an immovable object. It looked like a pretty innocuous play, but unfortunately he was wobbly when he got to his feet initially, but they were able to help him off the field. Didn't need the cart, so that's a good sign. Probably nothing, serious when it comes to structural situations, but let's head down the sideline, check in with Sierra, who had a good look at it.
Yeah, at first he was on the ground and then was able to get up with some help, but then all of a sudden he looked really wobbly. Even the Farmington side was motioning to the cart from the paramedics saying, hey, come over, he needs help, he needs help. And so then they came over and they were tending to him, as you just heard. And now they didn't need to put him back on the cart, thankfully, but he did walk off with some assistance. So just hoping everything is okay with Jefferson.
All right, Farmington's offense back on the field, and they will throw it outside. It is caught, and an immediate tackle made over on the sideline, and that catch went to Jordan Logue, the junior. We haven't seen him make a play yet tonight, and he is able to get that grab. So a nice completion there by Lester, and it will bring up 2nd and long for Farmington.
You know, it's a play that results in good yards for Farmington on most Friday nights, but Chris Edwards was there. So much speed on this Parkview defense, close quickly, and you look up and that's only a 1-yard gain.
Well, got to keep an eye on is Keaton. He's the outside receiver to the right side. There are twins to the left as well. They are looking outside to the left side, and the pressure comes, and delivering it is Lester. Just had to get rid of it, Wes, with that pressure coming off the edge, and now it'll be 3rd and long for Farmington.
We haven't seen Parkview blitz a lot tonight. That time they did. Ja'Cory Smith coming off of the edge. And, I mean, it was right at Lester. Lester saw him coming, got rid of the ball too early, and all of a sudden it's an incomplete pass.
Clock stops on the incompletion here in the 3rd quarter. It's 54-7 if you're just tuning in. And Parkview, complete domination today against their competitors from the northwest part of the state. About a 2.5-hour trip. 424-82 advantage for Parkview when it comes to total yardage.
Got a flag.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the defense.
And a personal foul against Parkview.
15-yard penalty. That results.
So that'll be a 1st down for Parkview. So a little bit, again, some penalties, a little sloppy there, but again, overall, not a lot to complain about if you're a Parkview fan, but those penalties obviously have been pretty ubiquitous tonight. Cleveland Lee out there on the defensive line. They are getting some guys in there that we haven't had a chance to call their names yet tonight. I want to try to mention a lot of those guys, but seems like the same guys keep making plays over and over again. They're looking to set up a screen here, and wisely that time. There's a veteran play for Lester. Just throws it at the feet. There was no chance to complete that or get that going anywhere. So 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Well, I was thinking about the veteran play of Nigel Farsi. He broke through the line of scrimmage. He's like, that was too easy. What? Oh, a screen. He just stopped dead in his tracks right next to the running back, and there was nowhere to go. What a heads-up play. And he's not a starter. You know, he's an offensive lineman, but he rotates and plays some defense. And that time, that was just a very mature play to recognize something's not right here if I got through the line that quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. 2nd and 10 upcoming, man in motion across the formation. That is Roman Nye. They're going to throw it outside. It is caught inside the 50, inside the 45, or inside the 45 is what I meant to say. Sorry about that. But down around the 40-yard line, they're going to knock him out around the 39. And so there is the completion to Logue. They looked for him a couple of times now on this drive, getting him going late. 4:42, clock is running. And it will be 3rd and short now for Farmington.
Yeah, he was able to avoid the tackle of Ja'Cory Smith. He came flying trying to make the play, but was able to jump out of that diving attempt for Ja'Cory Smith. Pick up some good yardage on 2nd down.
Parkview looks like they might bring pressure on this 3rd and short. They're going to hand it up the middle, Farmington does, and right at the stick. Are they going to say he got there or not? Doesn't look like they're going to give him any gain at all, so it may be 4th and short now, and they waste no time saying nope, did not get it. They tried to catch Parkview napping up the middle, but the Patriots not falling for it, and now a 4th down play to keep this drive alive, and we'll see what Farmington comes up with here. I would be surprised if they did anything but run the ball to Logue or maybe have a quarterback keeper for Lester, but we'll see what they decide to do here. 4-man front. Lester's going to throw on 4th down. It is incomplete. Interesting decision there. They wanted a penalty. They wanted some pass interference out there. They don't get it. The target was Dawson Keaton. They can't find him. And so with 3:40 remaining, it will be Parkview football once again.
It's a good look at the future Razorback. Cameron Settles coming in coming off the field, playing defense.
I think he's good at football.
Yeah, two-way player. And I talked to him on signing day, and I said, what's the plan? Are you a cornerback? Are you a running back? And he said, well, they've been recruiting me as a running back. I've been, recruited by the running back coach. All the talk right now is running back, but if they need me to play cornerback, I can play cornerback. I asked him, I was like, what do you enjoy? You like cornerback or running back? He's like, I like scoring touchdowns. I like running back.
I'd like him to score touchdowns on defense, maybe occasionally.
That was my follow-up, and I said, when you score a touchdown on defense, that's an even bigger play.
Settles on his way to an MVP. 2 pass breakups and interception. Patriots going to run it off the right side. That is Quentin Murphy. He's also got 8 carries for 156 and 2 touchdowns. So very much on his way to an MVP performance for this game tonight. He's been phenomenal.
Anytime the other future Razorback on the Parkview team gets the carry, goes off the right side, playing the quarterback position. Looks like he's going to be a wide receiver in college, maybe a slot receiver, maybe an outside receiver. I think more of an outside receiver than the slot, but definitely has the speed. We've seen that tonight at times.
Bunting at quarterback will throw here. Outside, has a man, and it's intercepted. Almost intercepted. Should have been probably. It was knocked away by Farmington. Jaquel Brown had a shot at it back there. Couldn't come up with it.
Not one of his better decisions. The safeties were playing back deep, and the safety was able to come back over in that position to get his hands on the ball. Underthrown just a little bit.
Yeah, that's my bad. Sorry, it's DK Turner, Wes. I apologize. It was 8 back there, not Jaquel Brown, who plays D lineman. I was trying to figure out how he floated all the way back there. So it'll be third down upcoming for the Patriots. 3rd and 8. And in trouble is Bunting. Rolls left, throws late, outside. That's intercepted at the 43-yard line. So that one is picked off, and the redo effort for DK Turner is good enough. So he does get the interception on the second one, and Bunting trying to force that one into coverage, and it does not work out at all.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure who he was throwing to there, because his receiver was breaking to the sideline, and he throws it well behind the receiver. There's nobody else there.
Yeah.
Unless he just thought the receiver was going to stop. It just may have been a poor throw.
Yeah, another miscommunication maybe. They didn't look like they were on the same page at all. Getting the initial pressure, you saw him get away and then force the throw just way, way behind, it looks like, trying to find Penny over there, but he couldn't get anywhere close. So Farmington back on offense. 1:37. Clock is running. 54-7. Parkview in control of this 5A state title game, going to go back to back to back. Lester taking his time now, finds a wide open man at the 49. Off to the races goes his running back into the end zone. It's Hodge all the way for the score. 43 yards for the touchdown. Excuse me, I'm sorry. How about 50 plus for that touchdown? And with 1:15 to go, Farmington has gotten its second score of the game. And boy, what a job. They just completely fooled Parkview. Now, what an effort, too, Wes, defensively.
Jacory Smith.
Yeah, he was trying to run him down, Jacory Smith was, but he couldn't quite get there. And I think Hodge thought he had a little more room to work than he did, so that was a little bit closer than it probably should have been.
Obviously, a bust in coverage. There was no one even close to him. I don't know where the breakdown happened. We'd have to see a wide angle of that, but it was a bust, and they get a touchdown out of it. A heads up to Lester for looking around and finding, not the first receiver on that route that he was looking at, but he finally found him. Wide open touchdown.
Yep, absolutely. 57 yards officially for Farmington on that one. One play drive, and they need a whole bunch more of those to make this game interesting. 54-14 with 1:15 to go. But hey, listen, the fight is still there. You said it coming out of the halftime break. Tommy Tice, this team is not going to quit, and I love the fact that they kept going and able to find a positive play there. And they, again, well designed. They completely fooled the Parkview defense. One of the few times it's happened tonight, and this time it results in a 57-yard touchdown. Now 172 yards passing. They are actually out-passing the Patriots. The problem is that they are minus 24 rushing, and Parkview's gone for 272 on the ground.
About that, a second turnover for Parkview, and for the second time, Farmington turns it into points quickly. Experience the action all over again next week. Watch all the championship games on the PBS app at any time. A lot of Parkview fans would like to watch this one over and over and over again.
Well,
I think we may see an onside kick here. I watched Farmington try the onside kick a couple times last week against Lakeside, and they were successful on it. And I think this is maybe an opportunity.
See what Elliott Brown's got cooked up here. How's his onside kick skills? Parkview looks like they're expecting it as well.
It doesn't look like they're lining up for it.
I think they seem to be very intently watching, though. I think they've got to believe that that may be a possibility here. See what Brown decides to do. No, he's going to kick it deep, and it will drive the returner back inside the 10. Out across the 20, 25, 30, and he is going to take it to the house. Goodbye. Touchdown, Jermaine Pennywest. That man has got some wheels, and that's going to be a 90-yard return for a touchdown. Let's see where he officially caught it, about the 7-yard line. So we'll call it a 93-yard touchdown until we get the official 92. All right, according to the official score. Good job by Troy over there. What a job by Penny, just taking it right up the gut. I mean, my goodness, what speed. And he never got touched. We've seen that a few times tonight. He jukes the kicker waved at him goodbye, and on to the end zone he goes. 55 seconds remain. Touchdown Parkview, and they are at 60 now. Make it 61. My goodness.
You should be so proud of me. I saw this was a touchdown. About 5 yards into this, there was a huge hole. Watch this. This is going to be a great angle. Look at all the guys blocking for him. There is nobody there.
Yeah,
look
they're
at
looking
that.
for someone to block.
And it's the kicker who thinks it's touch football, and he tried to touch him on the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And the Penny with the, I think it's 10-2 speed, 10-3 speed that Coach Boulding was saying. Just, you saw it there. Man, he is fast. But I was impressed, too, by his teammate, Montario Elston. He tried to catch him and run past him to show, look, I got some speed, too.
Well, the domination continues. You've seen it on defense. We've seen it on offense, and now special teams.
That's all three phases. They've scored a touchdown.
Yep, it's very impressive, obviously. Not much else Parkview can do. And we still have a whole quarter of football left. 55 seconds in the third quarter remaining. 61-14. We had a huge blowout last night. And I remember I was watching the end of the game last night on Arkansas PBS Sports, and I thought, man, hope you don't end up in one of those games. Those are tough. Those aren't a lot of fun, really. And you feel bad for the team that makes the championship game, and then they end up in a lopsided game. It's also tough from the broadcasting perspective. But anyway, I think we're going to get another highlight or two, so I hope folks will stick around tonight, because I don't know that we're done seeing fireworks, because I'm pretty sure Farmington's not going to quit trying to score, and Parkview seemingly can't help itself. So here we are.
That was a highlight. I mean, I don't care what the score is. That was impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. Aguiar will kick it. It'll be returnable from the 15 across the 20, 25, and cut down around the 30-yard line. The returner this time is either Brandon Clark or Isaac Dixon. A couple of seniors. I don't know if it's a defensive back or a wideout, but somebody had to jump in there, obviously, to take over for the injured returner, Dustin Haffelder, who went out earlier tonight.
See Parkview making some substitutions. Cameron Settles was going back out there at cornerback, and they called him off the field. And to his credit, he went over there and slapped hands with his replacement and gave him some encouragement. So they're going to get some.
Timeout. Parkview. They're first. The half.
Now with all these substitutions,
yeah,
they got to make sure they got 11 guys on the field and everybody that needs to be out there for this, all their reserves.
Yeah, make sure the personnel is right. No doubt about it. Oh my, what a night for this Parkview team. Sealing the deal for their third straight championship. And as Wes mentioned, scoring all three phases. Got a defensive score earlier tonight by Omarion Robinson. Kick return moments ago by Penny, and a few offensive touchdowns as well. A couple for Cameron Settles and a couple for Dak Crosby.
I guess all their Power Force signees have scored except for Quentin Murphy. Settles, Money, Omarion Robinson, they've all scored.
Farmington throwing here. Has some time. Lester will drop it off. And is it complete over there or incomplete? Nope.
It was incomplete.
Yeah, incomplete. All right, 2nd and 10 upcoming. Clock is running. That'll probably be the final play of the third quarter, and we are going to mercifully get to the fourth quarter here in a 61-14 ball game. 5A championship game is very much been the Patriots' game tonight so far. We've got one quarter to play. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
this month on Arkansas PBS.
This is my ultimate guide to the most delicious Christmas ever. Absolutely scrumptious.
Next time on Real Rail Adventures, we're on board for frosty fun as we discover Swiss winter magic.
We'll take a look at the history of deep-sea sports fishing. Visit the city in Italy that made chocolate famous. Find out how you can sell your artwork on the internet.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryant. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryant. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Before my surgery, I was in excruciating pain, but thanks to UAMS Health, I'm now pain-free, and I'm planning my next big trip.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
And we are about to head to the fourth quarter. 61-14 Parkview through 3 quarters of play. Let's get an injury update down on the sideline with Sierra Clark.
Yeah, earlier we saw Jaden Jefferson. It was slow to come up, but he seems to be in better spirits now. He's sitting near all of his teammates. I just spoke to the training staff. He's smiling, has some hand warmers in his hands. So it's good to see that he's doing a lot better now after that rough head injury.
All right, Jordan Logue, the target there, incompletion on the throw by Lester. And so it'll bring up 3rd and long here as we, again, just get underway here in the fourth quarter of play in a game that was decided quite a while ago. The highlight moments ago, the long touchdown return on the kick return for Jermaine Penny. And clock will continue to run here on a 3rd and 10 upcoming for Farmington. And we'll check our third quarter numbers here in just a moment. But safe to say, Patriots are on the right side of just about every category you can come up with. Lester running for his life, and he'll be dropped down. He tried to throw it late. Flags coming from all over. A little extracurricular along the sideline over there. Flags really came in from away from the play, Wes, so not sure exactly what that was all about. But there will be, for sure, a sack, and maybe it'll be negated. Maybe it won't be, but we'll see. Maybe a hold downfield. I'm not sure exactly what was happening. We had a couple of Patriots and one of the Cardinals tied up downfield about 10 yards.
Kingston Metcalf, a sophomore defensive lineman. Some of the backups getting in, chased down Lester and showed a little speed on that play. May have been a push in the back. Let's see one of the flags, number 42. Brandon Collier, a junior linebacker, went flying like he was hit from behind.
Donald Lee, a junior defensive lineman. He's still wound up down there on the sideline. His teammates trying to calm him down a little bit.
Yeah, that was Farmington blocking down the field, way down the field, blocking him into the sideline.
Yeah.
He wasn't very happy about that, Donald Lee.
No, you've already got the quarterback down on the ground, and he's getting run into the sideline by an offensive lineman.
We have 2 fouls in the play, both on Farmington. Holding. That penalty is declined. Intentional grounding. That penalty will be accepted. Loss of down.
So an intentional grounding, the holding that was called was declined, and so now we will get punt time again for Farmington. 11 minutes remaining in a game that, again, is well in hand for Parkview. After 3 quarters, 426 to 148, the total yards difference. And again, I've only seen it a couple of times in my life, Wes, where a team was held at negative yards rushing. It is not easy to do. Saw Arkansas do it one time in a Cotton Bowl. That was particularly enjoyable because it was against the University of Texas. This ball will be punted from inside the 5. A line drive punt, and the Patriots don't even bother putting anyone back for the return. This will go inside the 35, so a very effective punt that time by the Cardinals, so kudos to Ian Shadden.
You know, thinking about their punt returners, Omarion Robinson has been one of their main punt returners with Jermaine Penny. Well, they haven't been using Omarion Robinson as a punt returner or at all in offense.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things. Because of his ankle surgery, he had that TUA surgery, the tightrope surgery. He hasn't played in like 4 or 5 weeks now. This is his first game back. They say he's only about 95%. So they weren't going to play him at punt return. They weren't going to put him at punter. They weren't going to play him on offense. And so you want to talk about even more fireworks and explosive player, Omarion Robinson on offense.
Yeah, got hurt on October 31st. Not a Halloween to remember for him. Surgery was on 11/6, and here he is back playing in a state championship game. Remarkable. Handoff still on his feet, and finally dragged down after a gain of about 5 or 6 is Dak Crosby adding to his total. He's out over 60 yards now on the day. He's got a couple of touchdowns. That was his 7th carry of the night. And I'm guessing that a lot of the key guys, Wes, for this team probably not going to be a part of the mix going forward. And here comes Emmanuel Bunting onto the field.
To finish my thought, Omarion Robinson, one of the punt returners, the other one, Jermaine Penny. Well, they've taken them out of the game and probably don't want to risk, you know, someone handling the ball who hasn't returned a lot of punts this year. So
Makes
don't
sense.
put anybody back there.
Hand off to Crosby. Up the middle he goes, runs through a tackle, and then into a couple of other Farmington defenders. That'll be just enough for the first down, though, at the 45-yard line. And we are under 10 minutes to go. And a good job there by Crosby picking his way through. He's a hard runner, and he finishes it well. We saw him run out of a couple of tackles earlier on his way to a 27-yard touchdown.
We'll get an opportunity next year to watch him run the ball a lot. Looks like he'll be one of their go-to options.
Yeah, you got Bunting back, you got Crosby back, you got, you know, Kyron Marshall, the 6'5" receiver back, Folks, who we haven't seen much, but boy, the one moment we did was almost a spectacular spinning catch in the end zone. So certainly some good pieces back for Brad Bolding next season. 1st and 10 for the Patriots. Crosby ran right into a defender and then right through him. Was met at the line of scrimmage by Morgan Shader, the leading tackler for this Farmington bunch, and he bounced off of him and kept getting downfield. Very impressive run there. That is not an easy task against a guy who's had a lot of tackles this year, but a good job by Crosby finishing that run off. Picks up 5 on first down, right at midfield. 2nd and 5 coming up.
We were wondering what the largest margin of victory is in a state championship game. Our great staff over here with Troy Mitchell and crew. Largest margin of victory in a championship game is Junction City beating Des Arc 60-0.
Wow.
So we're a couple touchdowns off of that. And then the most points scored ever, 73 points. So Parkview actually just 2 touchdowns away from that. Don't think they're going to be looking to break that record, but you know what, this group,
yeah,
a broken tackle away from scoring a touchdown and getting a little closer. Our first final of the night, Salem will play for the 3A state championship game next weekend. That will be the 6:30 game next Saturday night. They beat Mansfield, so congratulations to Salem. We will see you here in the Rock next Saturday night, taking on either Bismarck or Fordyce. And last check, Bismarck was up in that game.
All right, here we go. 3rd and 4 for the Patriots. Guess we're going to get a heavy dose of Dak Crosby. Nope, they're going to hand it off to another back off the right side. And
he lost his shoe.
Lost his shoe. You beat me to the punch there, Wes. That was a run by Marcus Barnes, the sophomore. Ran out of his shoe, and then unfortunately ends up, for him, a loss on the play. And so that will end the threat. And now it's decision time for Parkview. Clock continues to run. Good job defensively by Shader getting out there and making the play.
I've never seen that.
A guy run out of his shoe like that. That was impressive.
That dude is fast.
Yeah. Yeah, when your shoes can't keep up with your feet, that's saying something. I never had that problem. So that will be the second time tonight we get a punt from Kyron Folks. And we'll see. I don't think Farmington's actually going to put anyone back here either, unless they add a late addition. There we go. Now they're going to run somebody back there. And that is the dangerous Dawson Keaton.
Timeout. Parkview.
Parkview likes
timeout at half.
To use all their timeout. You know, Wes, they say it's like your money. You can't take it with you. Might as well use those timeouts in a 61-14 game. Listen, I appreciate Brad Bolding's attention to detail. He's going to make sure to get everything right. And even in a game that is out of hand, he's taking care of business.
He obviously doesn't have anywhere to go tonight. I mean, look,
listen,
we're
he's
here.
trying to drink this in. This has been fun for him. Are you kidding me?
Let's do it.
He's having a blast out there.
enjoy the moments when you have them.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, the only bad thing for Parkview is they can only win one championship a year, but they've done it the last 3 now, so that's good. I guess you want to expand on this one. Listen, next year's not promised another championship, but I'll guess that they'll be back in the mix.
The other 3A game I was talking about, Bismarck and Fordyce. Bismarck has taken a 35-12 lead.
Oh,
so it's looking good for Bismarck right now.
Okay.
Fourth quarter or 4A games. Mills has scored. Ooh, low line drive.
Hit that punt.
Who did it hit a Farmington player?
It looked like he hit the top of it. I don't think it was blocked. I think he just completely mishit the punt because there was pressure coming, and we'll get a look at it on the replay. But I think he just completely mishit it, but it may have been blocked. Bottom line is it'll be good field position for Farmington around midfield after the mishit punt by Fulks. In his defense, it's cold and he hasn't punted very much tonight. So
it did hit the Farmington player's foot that was laying on the ground, but I don't know if it was partially blocked to cause it to be that low line drive, but Farmington jumps on the ball anyway. The 4A games I was telling you about, Elkins leads Mills 30-22, so it's a one-possession game for Mills down the road at Mills, and Arkadelphia continues to lead 28-0 over Southside.
There's a pass outside through the hands of the would-be receiver. Went right through the hands of Isaac Dixon, senior. Couldn't come up with it. Well, that safety looms large now for that Mills game, huh?
Yeah, it would have been a 6-point game. Yeah. Mills, though, has the arsenal to come back, get a 2-point conversion, try to tie this thing up.
2nd and 10. Parkview, 5:45, clock running. Again, sportsmanship rule has been in effect virtually the entire second half. And Aiden Lester and his mates trying to put a few more points on the board here. Lester, ball knocked down. And good job there by the Parkview defense. Got a good pass rush, couple of guys over there. Raiden Parson, excuse me. Raiden Parson, a sophomore, getting in there, and Kingston Metcalf, another sophomore. Yeah, it was batted down, I think. Yep, that was absolutely Metcalf. Kingston, nice job there knocking that one away. And that will bring up 3rd and 10 for Farmington with 5:03, 2-1, and we're under 5 minutes to go here in this 5A championship game. See what Aiden Lester and his offense can come up with here. Looking right, coming back to the left, now dropping it off to his running back. Out in space, breaks a tackle, and then trips up around the 45-yard line. It'll be short of the first down, but it'll be 4th and 2 for Farmington. Nice catch and pretty good run there by Hodge. Just couldn't break that one tackle out in space. So a good enough job defensively. Diving at his legs, and a good play there by Elijah Jones, the junior linebacker, able to get the stop. So now 4th and 2 with 4:24 on the clock for Farmington.
Lester went with a little sidearm on that one. Saw the defender coming, had his hands up high, so he kind of threw it underneath his hands.
So here we go. Twins left, single receiver right. They're going to run it right up the middle, and it looks like they've got it. They do. Down to the 40-yard line, and they went to Hodge again, right up the gut. And Parkview unable to stop. A lot of those backups in there now. And Farmington, I'm sure, largely still the frontline guys. And there's Hodge celebrating his first down. There hasn't been a lot to celebrate for Farmington tonight, but you got to give him a little bit of a break here, I guess, at this point in the game in a 61-14 ball game. 3:43 left, and again the clock winding down.
Coming up a little later on Fox 16, we'll have highlights of Arkadelphia's game against Southside, and my reporter down there, Gary Burton Jr., just texted me it is 35-0 Badgers. Wow. So you had the mercy rule, sportsmanship rule going into effect. Nope, Southside just scored. A little update, so it's 35-7, but with the running clock, looks like Arkadelphia is headed to War Memorial Stadium next Saturday afternoon.
Boy, what a year for the Badgers. Good for them. Well, that'll be fun. Yeah, next weekend's going to be a blast. We'll hopefully have some good crowds, maybe a little warmer weather, but should be a lot of fun. 3 minutes to play. It is 2nd and 8. Lester thought about going big ball, now rolling out to his left. There's a hold here in the backfield. He's tackled down after a couple-yard gain, but all this is coming back anyway on a hold, I believe. It was dropped around the 44-yard line, and that is typically the area of holding. I'm not always 100% sure on that, but I would probably bet a couple of dollars on it, Wes.
Well, looking at the replay on the video board here at the stadium, I see one obvious hold, and there may have been a second one, so I bet they caught one of those two.
Holding on the
And
offense.
indeed, that'll do it. They're
10-yard
going to back
penalty.
him up.
Still, second down.
We are coming up on 9:30. Be about a 3-hour ball game here tonight. Again, a very long first half with Parkview going into the end zone a number of times. 2:48 remaining. Again, next game will be tomorrow at noon, the 6A state championship game. Shiloh and Greenwood, a couple of tradition-rich programs. Lester throwing it too tall, incomplete. Threw it behind his intended receiver, Brady Richards. That was the first target of the junior tonight, and he couldn't find him. And he's had a little bit of trouble with that tonight, finding his targets. But again, on a cold night, got to be tough. Some of those guys are wearing hand warmers, but my goodness, it has got to be difficult on a night like tonight to be able to handle a ball coming at a high speed.
Oh, and even throwing a ball, you know.
No doubt.
Cold ball, it gets rock hard. It can be more difficult to grip those laces and to throw it.
3rd and 20 here coming up. Lester finds a man over the middle, and that one is complete to Brady Richards. So a good job redeeming on that catch. The 5'11 junior able to come up with that one, and now 4th and a bit more manageable for the Farmington Cardinals with 1:42 to go in this game. And kudos to Parkview. The Patriots about to celebrate their 3rd straight state championship, and they've done it in the most dominating fashion of all of them. What a way to go out for this senior group, Wes.
I was looking out at the field. There's a freshman out there, left cornerback up at the top of your screen, number 32, Chris Ross. They're getting everybody in, and that is great for Parkview.
Going wide open at the 18-yard line. It is caught and tackled down around the 10-yard line. That was Cameron Miller, who had a touchdown earlier tonight. That's the second time they have caught Parkview napping. They roll away and throw back to the opposite sideline, and that is a big-time wide open play, and Lester did a good job of letting that one set up, and a good catch by Miller. Nearly took it to the house, but it gets him down to the 10-yard line. So a 1st and goal now for Farmington with 48 seconds left. Lester over the middle, overshot his would-be receiver, and so the clock will continue to run. 2nd and goal coming up.
Yeah, hurry up. Let's go. Hurry up. Let's try to. I want them to score a touchdown. Let's get some guys as Coach Bolden gets the bath right there. The Parkview Patriots celebrating on the sideline, but Farmington calls a timeout. They want to score. They want to give these guys one last chance. A lot of these guys, they're seniors. They're never going to play another game of football, so let them go out on at least a high note of scoring a touchdown.
Absolutely. Oh, my, what a night. What a cold, impressive night for Parkview.
Just, seconds. Back on
you know,
the
we
clock.
thought there was a chance that they could, if they got off to a good start, that they could maybe, you know, have a chance to really put their foot on the gas here. And we saw that, Wes. I mean, they came out red hot, you know, got the early, you know, big ball, quick score, and just never let up. Very impressive performance by Brad Bolding's bunch tonight.
We've got some games complete. Southside has gone down in Arkadelphia. Badgers advance to the 4A title game. It is over 35-6. We told you earlier, Salem defeated Mansfield 38-20. We now know who Salem will play in the 3A state finals next Saturday night. It will be Bismarck. They knock off Fordyce 49-12. So one game left out there.
All right, Lester throwing here. Late in the 4th quarter into the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. Touchdown, got me thinking about Arkadelphia now. Farmington, that is Brady Richards with the catch for the touchdown. So congrats to him. He had a few catches here late in the game. Didn't get involved early on, but he does get a score for the Cardinals here late for Tommy Tyson Company, and that will narrow the margin to 61-20 with the extra point pending next.
And that's what I was talking about. That's a great memory right there. Aiden Lester was the first one to run down the field to celebrate with him.
Yep.
Look, this game has been decided, but that doesn't mean you can't still have a little fun and celebrate and have a great memory for the rest of your life.
Well, and he's in that junior group too, Wes. I mean, he's part of the group of guys that get to come back next year. They got a lot of juniors on this team that are going to be available to play next year. Extra points good. So 61-21 with 28 seconds remaining, and we'll see if Farmington decides to onside kick or if they just kick it deep. I can't imagine they will, but we'll see.
Who's your thought on MVP?
I gave it to you about an hour ago, and I don't know if there's any doubt.
Well, there's not. Cameron Settles has been named the game's MVP.
Yeah.
He did it on offense. He did it on defense. And I'm sure he was playing on some special teams. And a fantastic game for the future Razorback.
Absolutely.
For the second straight year. Last year he had 2 interceptions in the state championship game as they beat Shiloh Christian.
He should have had 2 tonight.
You're right. He dropped one.
He had one that was right off his chest. But, man, very special performance for a guy who's got a really good future ahead of him.
He may need to play next year. A lot of times you like to redshirt those freshmen, but with the portal, they may need all these guys to come in and have some playing time next year.
Absolutely. Got some scores from college going on here, Wes, and a couple of games I thought would be very competitive and very close. Not so much so. Onside kick attempt, and this one is on the ground, and looks like Farmington has recovered it. Yes, they did, inside the 40, so they do onside kick it, and they will keep it alive. Boise State after 3, 21-zip over UNLV in the Mountain West Championship, and even more shocking in the American, Army 28, Tulane 7.
Wow.
What a stumble down the stretch for the Wave after losing at home to Memphis last week.
Timeout.
They are getting handled at Army tonight, and Army is in pretty good shape here with a quarter to play. How about that for the American Championship? Very impressive.
These are fourth quarter scores?
These are going into the fourth. They're both just ended their third quarters.
Wow.
So
how about that onside kick?
That was impressive.
Can we show that onside kick again?
That was very impressive.
It looked like he was going one direction.
I want you to get on the telestrator and draw it up.
All right, let's see here. All right,
show me how
show
that
me the
works.
onside kick, guys. Give me the replay of the onside kick. Looks like he's going one direction, then switches, and at the very last second, kind of winds his foot and leg back, and there it is. Look, see the kid, see that guy? He was going this way, and then all of a sudden he fools everybody and kicks it this way, and Parkview just doesn't know what's coming, and Farmington's there to jump on it.
That is unique work.
You like that?
That was pretty good.
They caught me off guard. I didn't know they were coming so quickly. I wasn't quite prepared.
Yeah. Did you know what you wanted to draw on there?
Yeah, just some lines.
Yeah.
Should have started that in the third quarter.
You got to John Madden it. You got to be like, yeah, boom. Yeah, kicked it this way. Thought he was going that way. Boom. Yeah, give me some Madden or something.
Threw everybody off.
All right, well, let's see if Farmington can maybe get one more. Why not, right? 61-21. They just scored a moment ago. They get the onside kick.
See here, look how deep Parkview's playing here. They got everybody back. They're
now you want to be Mr. Telestrator. I see how it is. They're going to throw on first down. It's caught around the 27-yard line. And 17 seconds. And Farmington's going to call a timeout.
Yes.
You get plans later?
No. Well, I got a newscast after that football game, Boise State game. You said that was going to the fourth quarter?
Yep, they're just heading to the fourth.
So I got about another hour before that, so I probably won't go on to about 10:45.
I think you're in good shape.
So I got about an hour and 15 minutes.
I think you're just fine.
I think some of these fans have left, so it's not going to be too tough to get out of War Memorial Stadium tonight and get back to the office.
We'll be right back here tomorrow. Can't wait. Get to do the 6A game.
You and I?
Bobby Swafford.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you doing
I'm doing radio for the 6A game, and then I'll be over here for the 7A game.
Well, I'll be good and cleared out for you. Don't worry.
I'm looking forward to Bryant and Bentonville.
Oh, man, I think that's shaping up to be – listen, Bentonville, they're playing really well down the stretch, right? I mean, they've come on, and we knew they were going to be pretty good anyway, but –
what have they won? 9 in a row? Is that right? 10 in a row? They started 0-3 in non-conference, and then ran through conference undefeated, got a bye, won the quarterfinals, won the semifinals. So, yeah, they've won 9 in a row now, playing good football. Great game against Conway last week.
Yep,
back and forth in the fourth quarter. They get a field goal with time running out. It was one of those clutch situations, too. They didn't have any timeouts left, so they had to run the field goal team out there with time ticking down. Kicker makes the field goal with like a second left.
All right, here we go. Going to go for it all into the end zone. It is broken up with 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8. They will not run another play, doesn't look like.
Call timeout.
Oh, they do have one left. I'm sorry.
Call timeout. No,
they were out. They were out. I'm sorry. I was looking at Parkview. You threw me off there. I thought that was their last timeout. Yep, that's it. All right. Patriots are your champions once again. 3 straight years It is Parkview with a state championship, and they knock off Farmington. The final score is 61-21. Just a dominant performance from the very outset, Wes, and they never really let Farmington into this game, and they do, in fact, end the game with negative yards rushing. 283 to -6, the margin for Parkview in the rushing total. But again, got to give Aiden Lester and that offense from Farmington a lot of credit. They fought to the bitter end, but they just didn't have enough to battle these Patriots tonight. All right, we'll take a timeout, and we will hear from the winning coach and our MVP. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
One snowman cake, present and correct.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
We have much to be grateful for.
Just what I wanted for Christmas.
I had hoped for the opportunity to dazzle.
Dazzle?
Good news indeed.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Before my surgery, I was in excruciating pain, but thanks to UAMS Health, I'm now pain-free, and I'm planning my next big trip.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
I love it!
We're on the precipice of a great discovery.
I love it. Welcome! Whoa, Nelly!
Let's set this palace on fire.
I love it.
Welcome to the News Hour.
What does it mean politically?
I love it.
Oh.
Fasten your seatbelt.
I love it.
I love it.
Delighted to hear it. You make a good team.
First responders put their lives on the line for us every single day. And in uncertain times, we lean on these heroes to help restore stability. As a key component of a strong community, you will find stability at the core of Centennial Bank. Here, we believe in supporting those that help provide a safe and secure community for us to thrive in. Your financial safety and security should not be overlooked. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
The future of Arkansas PBS, its programs, and its irreplaceable purpose all rest on a strong foundation of community support. Help us continue to impact lives for generations to come. Keep good going with a tax-deductible donation of just $5 a month. Visit myarpbs.org/donate to learn more.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryant. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryant. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
5A state champion Parkview Patriots. For the third straight season, Brad Boulding has led his team to the top of the heap in 5A and celebrating down on the field and just putting it with the other ones, Wes. I mean, just stacking up those championship trophies down there on the field.
See all those threes they're holding up. Yep, that is 3 straight for the Parkview Patriots. Big night. I mean, and so many stars tonight. And that's what happens when you score 61 points. You score offensively, defensively, special teams. Penny scores, Jermaine Penny on special teams on the kickoff return. Yeah, the defense with Omarion Robinson scoring with the pick 6, and then offensively, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, not just overwhelming yards at 154 passing yards, 283 rushing yards, 437. That you wouldn't think 61 points, but when the defense scores, special team scores, and then they had great field position throughout the night, and so they had a lot of short drives.
Yeah, time possession. Actually, Farmington had the ball longer, but those 5 sacks costly, and that's how you get -6 rush yards. Let's head down to the field and check in with Sierra, who is with the championship coach again, Brad Boulding.
Coach Boulding, this is your 3rd straight state championship title, but what makes this one so much different than the others?
Every one of them's different. You know, your teams are different, your makeup of your team's different. This is a special group, I mean, because a lot of them had something to do with all 3 of them. So we're going to miss them. But, hey, we got 9 coming back on offense. We got 7 coming back on defense, so we feel like we're still going to be pretty good.
You mentioned your returning athletes, but this senior class is so special. They don't know what it's like to lose in the 5A classification. What does that say about this program's legacy?
Yeah, they're just a gifted group, man. I mean, they're so competitive. I've always told people you got to come watch us practice because our practices are so much fun because they're always competing against each other. You know, they're all, you know, we got several Division I players and they talk smack, and I mean, it's just a fun environment, and so they get better by competing against each other, and I think that's really what's helped us.
Thank you, Coach, and go celebrate with your team.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights from tonight's victory for Parkview. We'll go back down and check in with our MVP in just a bit, but here we go. And not a lot of highlights, unfortunately, for the Cardinals, but they did have a couple of nice plays there, Wes. And you saw, you know, their same receiver get into it a couple of different times tonight.
Well, they scored to make it 17-7. The next play, Cameron Settles takes it 80 yards for a touchdown and just takes all that mojo back, that momentum from one sideline to the other. And not just Cameron Settles at running back, but Dak Crosby. He had a nice game. And then there's Omarion Robinson with the pick 6. Just was a fantastic play coming off of the wide receiver, going to another wide receiver, fooling the quarterback, and that's why he's a D1 safety. And look, there are some who believe he'll play next season for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't know that there's much doubt. He certainly looks very much the part. And like, you know, Coach Boulding mentioned, these guys have been part of a number of championships. They've been doing this for a while, so these guys have a lot of experience. It's not like he just showed up and started making plays as a senior, so they've been around and doing it for a while. And we're going to try to run down our MVP here in just a second.
Game right there in the middle of the screen.
Right in the thick of it.
Celebrating with his teammates.
Look at the hustle from Sierra. She's trying to get up in there to there.
We're going to Arkansas next year, but you get to close out your senior year with another state title. What makes this one so much different?
It feels amazing. It's my senior year. Got to end it with a 3-peat. It wouldn't have felt right if we didn't end it with 3.
Right after the game, you kneeled in the middle of the field. Why were you so emotional after this game?
Well, it's funny. I'm not really an emotional guy, but it's like, dang, I'm not going to be playing high school football anymore, and we ended up right. So it got me my tears a little bit.
Over 150 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, and you got to play on defense, special teams, all of that. How did you cherish this moment?
With this. Hey, all glory to God, though. All glory to God. All glory to God.
Thank you so much, Cam. Go celebrate with your team. Back to you guys.
Celebrate Parkview's victory. Official championship gear is now available. Visit www.arkansashighschoolsports.com to find apparel and memorabilia commemorating this unforgettable season. That's arkansashighschoolsports.com for your Parkview championship gear.
We'll be right back here tomorrow, high noon, for a big showdown in 6A. The Greenwood Bulldogs, Shiloh Christian Saints, and again, tradition rich. You can't say anything else about these. We mentioned those three-peat teams in the past, and these two schools each have one of those. And this should be a heck of a showdown in the finals tomorrow at noon. That'll get us started. And, of course, 7A action tomorrow night with Bryant and Bentonville. But that is it. Again, congratulations to your dominating performance from the Parkview Patriots in number 3. And they win it by 40 tonight. 61-21, your final. We'll join you again tomorrow right here on Arkansas PBS Sports. Good night, everybody.